We should be live. Well,
are we live?
We're live. There's a blinking light in the top.
There's
a very small red light.
A blinking light in our brand new camera. We actually have clear sound.
Yeah.
And
it's got a little mic on it as well.
Yeah, it is. It's working.
And even the inbuilt mic was pretty good.
Oh,
which,
okay.
If anyone was paying attention to the archery video part, that was without the top mic.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So it's good anyway, but it came with a top mic, so we're using the top mic.
Great stuff. Awesome. Hiya everyone. Now you finally see us and hear us. Well, it's like progress, isn't it? It's like Tommie and Christian have just applied something.
Well, we're also hoping to actually not actually have a full, complete podcast, no matter whatever happens on that camera. And now we also know what we're looking at, because it's nice, really bloody obvious where we should be looking at.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hiya,
what a people point at you. Almost look at you right in the eyes.
Yeah, because now we can look at the actual lens.
Yeah, imagine what it's going to be like in a year. We carry on doing it for all that and what we learn and develop, which I think is kind of the point, isn't it? Not just about making a podcast, is it? About learning, developing and setting an example that everyone else can too. Whether you're a scrawny wastrel like me, or a hulking giant like yourself, we can
talk
can
about
do it.
Hulking giant though. I'll tell you what, one of the good things to always get, not even just today that someone was saying about actually noticing weight loss, etc. But it was, I believe it was actually uploaded to the TNC Apply thing. Yeah, I did. Me with the Bardiche. Yeah.
What's a Bardiche?
Bardiche is basically a two-handed.
Oh, that axe thing.
The axe thing.
Yeah. I went hashtag glaive on Instagram.
Well, he's a form of a glaive.
Yeah. Okay.
But the first comment on my own previous thing, on my own previous account at least, I don't know if it went on to TNC one, was someone going, yeah, there's a lot of weight loss, and now I can actually see it in pictures, which is quite good as well.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
I've actually I've put weight on, like, considerably.
Yeah.
Although at the same time I've lost weight off my face, and I want to go into detail why actually for anyone that again can benefit from my story. So I'm actually well over 11 stone now, believe it or not. And on my face you wouldn't look it. So why? Why in my face wouldn't I look it?
That's only 3 more stone. If you gain 3 more stone, that's my weight that I should be according to BMI.
Really?
Yeah. That's why BMI is rubbish.
Yeah, absolutely.
Body mass index, not really the colleague.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing about BMI is everybody agrees it's rubbish, so why the fuck do we use it? Why do we use it at all? It's just daft.
I don't know. It's silly. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. So I went to see my doctor because I've really been feeling, little by little, more and more shit as the days and weeks have rolled on since Christmas. And I thought I was just tired, I was just stressing out, or I was depressed, which is a word that does my head in, if I'm honest. And blah, blah, blah. So I went to get my bloods done at the doctor's, and no, I'm heavily anemic.
So lacking iron.
Not just lacking in iron, like I almost should be dead. So let me give you the numbers. So iron, I can't remember exactly what the measurement is in actually.
It's like milligrams per decimol.
So I should be around 30.
Yeah.
Okay. 30 or more. Or I think in like Canada or America they'll say 150.
Yeah.
I think. Tell us if I'm right or wrong, by the way. But actually, my iron and my ferritin count came in at 9. Yeah. We're down in single figures. So, and I really started to notice it towards the beginning of last week when I looked in the mirror and just like the darkest rings, like real dark, and this sunken cheek area here, like extra sunk. I was like, thought I was needed to drink more water, and I was doing, nothing was helping. I was getting more and more distraught, and my sleep patterns were non-existent. I just couldn't sleep. So anybody and I've been anemic many times, so I kind of should have recognised these patterns by the way. However, it you don't, because it kind of affects your thinking as well as your sleeping. Well, then when you're tired, well, that affects then your thinking, which is already affected.
Yeah.
And you're using more fuel and you're burning more of everything else, and it's just like a downward spiral.
That's why you sometimes need to take that larger, holistic approach.
Well, yeah, so, I mean, I understood that, hang on a minute, I need my bloods doing here, so my experience kind of caught me, but I still caught myself too late. So the reason I'm telling people is, like, if you think you're depressed or an insomniac or both, go and get your bloods done at the doctor's. Go and find out where your iron is, what it should be, and check a lot of other things like B12 will do a similar thing.
B12 is a big one.
Okay.
Luckily we've got good weather at the moment, which will help with
B12, that'll help with vitamin D.
Help with vitamin D, but
well.
If I remember correctly, vitamin B12 you do get as well, partially from some.
So the vitamin D thing as well, because all these things through my lifestyle and through my health, and not just through any kind of plant-based thing like that, because I want to discuss that slightly separately. The vitamin D, vitamin B12, so D3 and K2 specifically, they're kind of bound together. Iron, B12, and what else did I say? Zinc, can all make you feel like real low.
Yeah.
So the question is how have I got in this state? Now you may notice on the Instagram page and on the Facebook page that I posted a picture of some incredibly raw looking meat.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was so nice, because like I said, as much as I like, and I've had a lot of success out of the plant-based diet, I'm not vegan, though I would like to be that way, blah blah blah. However, what I've discovered is that I have not an absorption issue, I have a digestive issue. Now this is only speculation using quite a lot of experience on my own body and my part, but I've realised I have a digestion issue to look at first. So I'm going to look at the digestion issue, and once we fix the digestive issue, and if it doesn't fix, then I'll look at an absorption issue, because I actually draw a differentiation between the two. So you know, if I'm digesting well and I'm not absorbing, then obviously that's an absorption issue. But unless I manage a digestion issue, I'll never find out. If I just try and fix an absorption issue, well, that's a fine losing battle unless I fix a digestive issue. So what makes me think it's a digestive issue? Well, I took a load of supplements, iron supplements, so already I'm starting to feel better.
Yeah.
So I am absorbing it.
Yeah, so it's not due to it, you're just not getting it for food.
Yeah, correct. Now, there's also a lot of leaves and stuff like that in your shit, you know, and undigested food, or I'm getting a lot of fast movements and things like that.
Well, so, leaves and that sort of thing, you kind of expect anyway.
Yeah, but not along with fast movements, and I know that when I am on top of my health, which I've not been to a certain degree, that my body will react more positively, you know, but I've not been, and it was interesting learning. So I've cut down a lot more on tea, out of necessity, not desire, because I know you look straight at the pledges that are out there. Yeah. But yeah, tea, because tea inhibits, tea and coffee of almost all types inhibit absorption and connect to any metals in your gut. So if you're having tea like half an hour before or after anything you've eaten or ingested, well, it's going to be tightening up your cell wall in your bowel, and it's going to the polyphenols in the tea. So the tannins do the tannin.
The negative OH groups are just going to suck onto their positive metals.
Yeah. So that, you know, so if any iron, say bye to that. Any zinc, say bye to that. Magnesium, say bye to that. Potassium, is that in them?
Yeah, potassium.
So that's say bye to that, you know. So anything you're having along with breakfast, if you think you're getting a good dose of vitamins and minerals, then you're probably not.
No, it's just taking it away from me. Mm-hmm. It's just quite simple, positive, negative, and they're attracting and then just being dragged down.
Well, in fact, I'm around a scientist and you can confirm my...
Well, sounds about right. Phenol group.
Okay.
It has OH in it.
Yeah, so polyphenols will mean it can attach to many different things, I assume.
Well, polyphenol means it's multiple groups of multiple phenol groups.
Okay, right, got it.
So the phenol, like, don't hold me to this one because brain's not functioning at this point in time for biochemistry.
We've got an internet if people want some kind of
visual
reference from a bona fide source.
But definitely it's got an OH group in it, and they form negative ions when they're in solution, which is going to be, the positive ions going to be attracted to it. So that sounds about right in my head.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at. So just to recap, if you're feeling like crap, emotionally wise, head wise, you're not sleeping, go and get your blood done. Like genuinely go and get it done.
The other one to pay attention to is if it's particularly on a spur of the moment sort of situation, what did you eat beforehand? Like, not for you in particular.
This is a great question, because actually I started, I was working away a lot, and then I came back. I was under a lot of stress, and I actually kind of gave up on everything sensible. And what I started to do was I started to just eat toast, drink tea, and in the evening maybe I'd go for a kebab. And now I was only starting to eat once a day.
Yeah.
And the worse I started to feel, the more I thought, I'll just have a rest. Well, I'm sacrificing rest for food.
Yeah.
Well, you see what I mean? So then I'm eating less, and then I'm getting more tired, and I can't be arsed cooking.
And then your
I can't
body's
be
got no
arsed shopping.
fuel.
Yeah, I can't be arsed going to the takeaway even. So what do? Oh, the shop's only there. I'm going to get a loaf of bread.
Yeah, and you're just eating carbs.
Down.
And it won't be the good bread. It won't be
correct.
Like slow made sourdough, that sort of line.
Correct.
It will be bleached white.
Yep. Our favourite, Warburton's Toasty, man.
Yeah. But my big one there was hitting the carbs situation. It's like, you can try this experiment at home.
Don't. But
But pay attention to it. If you do something like this, then pay attention to it. That time when you have a chocolate bar, the amount of times that people have something like chocolate as a comfort food, or just to pick me up, I'll just have a chocolate bar, why not? Give me a bit of energy and so on. And yeah, you will have for a very short amount of time. It takes about half an hour for the caffeine to actually absorb into your body to take effect, depending on age and metabolism. But I bet within the hour after eating the chocolate, your body and your mood will drop. Now, this isn't a loss of caffeine, it is your stomach going, and your intestines going,
Yeah.
And like I said before, when I was on the carnivore diet and had that chocolate the first time before I even sorted out my gut, etc., my body just went, why are we eating this? It's really nice, it's got loads of sugar in it, but we don't need this.
That's exactly what was happening to me. So I can use tea as an example, and the toast. So again, the lower my mood gets, the more tired I get, the more malnourished I get, the more I think, do you know what, I feel like crap, I just need a treat.
Yeah.
Well, what do? Your treat just makes you, it's just a self-destruct. It's like your body. Weirdly, I'm reading a book at the moment that kind of, I've just like coincidentally connected some dots here. I'm reading a book by a man called Dr. Stephen R. Gundry, about why your body is actually telling you to self-destruct, and it's very interesting. I've not finished reading it yet, but I'll give you the report on it. But it's essentially about the way you eat food, when you eat food, and what food you eat will be turning on or off the good or bad way your genes are reacting to you. And that tells a lot with my story, with the condition allegedly being genetic.
Yeah.
So if his theory and his diet is accurate, because I'll be trying it, by the way, I will be trying it.
Best way to find out a lot of things.
Oh yeah, like don't go and look at science papers and things. Well, look at them, but don't take them as truth. You've got.
If you also want to get, just as a tip for you, anyone who wants to read like any actual scientific papers or anything like that, if they're behind a paywall, find out who the lead writer is, email them.
Yeah,
because they don't get money for whatever they publish in a place. They'll happily go, oh, I want to read your work. They'll send it to you. I don't know what it applies in other fields, but
also find out who's funding it.
Yes, always.
Because if Coca-Cola's funding your sugar is good for your paper, then you need to get out of there.
But if you still want to read it anyway, because someone's cited it, etc.
Yeah.
Because it's always worth a read, because understanding, reading what's going on and how they manipulate the data.
Because data is manipulated, especially when it comes to things like diet. It's hard to quantify.
But I have a weird fun when I look at data and go, oh, what have you done with it? My one of doing in debates.
Also look for unpublished papers.
Yeah, you can find those as well. Like I said, email the person. Normally it's their life work that they want to talk about. Email them. It's the same for, like, doesn't matter how old you are. I am a student from whatever. I'm been listening to this podcast. They brought up this. You seem to be the lead expert in this one. Any chance I can have your paper? Because I really want to read it, but it's behind a paywall and I can't afford it. And they'll go, oh my god, someone wants to read what I'm writing. Let's get it. And
it's nerd syndrome 101. That really.
There's lots
Somebody
of
wants to listen to me.
Exactly. You'll have a friend for life by accident. And, but
now by design.
By design. But nonetheless, I have this strange hobby of actually taking apart data that people give me.
Yeah.
And I just like look at it and go, well, what have you actually done here? What's not being told? What are you hiding?
Yeah. That's exactly why I say what I say, because I need to just clarify what I did say. I said don't look at scientific papers. No, I didn't mean to say that. Yeah, look at them.
They're not the Bible.
They're not the Bible, and you could probably find a scientific paper that says the complete opposite. So you need to be on the ball, and you need to be able to observe and experience your own findings and your own results, and so you need to have a pretty critical.
But there's a fun rabbit hole when you find one that says one thing, one that says another, and you look at them and go, their data's both correct, and you start going,
It's almost like
where are we going?
Or maybe it's like.
Where's there such thing as duality?
It's like the fight between vegans and carnivores at the moment. That's all around the internet. Well, it's almost like maybe some kind of balanced diet is the way you're going.
Maybe it's quite simple. Maybe it's don't eat all this processed crap that we're not meant to have eaten at any point in time. Oh, that might be an idea.
Yeah, eat a little bit of animals and a lot of them leaves, kind of like a gorilla might.
But still, nonetheless, when we keep on saying this one, it's like it's the amount of vegans that are turning. They don't stop in the middle. They just go all the way. That's it. All the way straight to. Carnivore's like, well, why were you doing it? There's always a question I ask. Why are you doing it? What is your drive? What is your purpose? But yeah, it's one of those. But it's a debate tactic that I used to do when I used to have debates, and I did have quite a lot when I ended up talking to people in general. Is not to actually bring my own statistics. I use theirs. Because they believe their statistics are right. So if you want to poo-poo my statistics, they're your statistics. You want to write that paper? Go ahead.
Wow, you're a turd.
I know.
That's dirty, that. I like it a lot.
I got in university, I was forced
to get all their statistics and that is naughty, really.
It was a debate we had in university where we put into teams, and it was about pharmaceuticals, but pharma as in using animals for pharmaceutical things, like pigs used for insulin and so on. And we were on the side that was to argue against it. Now, we were a group of biologists.
It's tickled me that.
So they weren't too thrilled, and I've just gone, this is a gold mine. They're not going to do any work. We're going to look amazing if we do a tiny bit of work. And they're like, oh, we'll do it. It's like, fine, I'll do it. I don't care. And I wasn't as pompous as I am now. That grew later. And so there's the point where it's like that literal school presentation bit. We're now a little bit more on a bigger screen and in the lecture theatre. Yeah. So they all say their little bit, etc. And it gets to the point where they have to ask questions. And of course they get the usual questions out. It's like, oh, do you have anything to say to the other side and so forth? And I just go, well, this statistic is wrong, that's this, that's that. Because I knew all the statistics they'd take because they're lazy. So I'll use that, animal welfare in this case. And of course, they don't have an answer for me because I'm citing all their sources. And I got 99% out of 100 for that. So.
Oh, brilliant. That's a
fun game to play.
It's a wonderful tactic, that. This not's driving me crazy. I wonder if
you don't like it, it's fine.
I wonder if OCD is in the blood results. I wonder if there's anything that says. Yeah,
well, it's an OCD just trying to see patterns more.
I ain't got a clue, if I'm honest. I don't know. Like, it's obsessive compulsive disorder. I don't know. Some.
It's funny that they call it disorder. It's like my favourite one, ADHD. Right?
I am. I've worked in a school that specialises with kids with emotional learning difficulties, including ADHD and beyond, like violently beyond. I've worked in them schools, and I tell you what, I am sceptical when I think what these kids need is love a little bit, not crazy drugs, and they need a better diet, freedom. And they definitely need freedom. They'll just take it.
Stop trying to put them in a cage, which is what we're doing.
Yeah, it's a very interesting experience, and I really enjoyed it as much as you know, they were little feckers. I got a lot out of it.
Well, one of the big ones why I bring it up as a misnomer is you should always weaponise your specialty.
What?
Weaponise yourself. Make yourself deadly. Now, the reason why I say that is ADHD, and I've got a friend who's got ADHD. Now a friend who's got ADHD. And it's interesting to talk to him about this sort of stuff as my role as a teacher as well. Now, ADHD, everyone will think, oh, well, they can never pay attention. It's like, wrong.
Correct. I've
Bingo.
taught
Wrong.
one painter who's now, as far as I know, last letter he sent me, he's a successful commission painter. I'll tell you about that in a second.
But he is, because guess what? They don't have attention deficits, not. They have super focus.
Yeah, they just
And
give a
that's
shit
what you
about
do.
what you're trying to funnel into them.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, guess what? They're looking outside because whatever's in here is like, I don't give a damn about.
Yeah, that was
That's
me in
what they're
school.
saying.
That was me in school. You know, I literally just switched off in school. In high school, just didn't give a shit. Oh no.
Take a different one that we never talk about, OCD in itself. To ensure that the pattern remains the same of what it should be, is what is also happening. So things should go in their place. Guess what? That means that you're very good at quality control, would argue.
No, right, okay, yeah.
So patterns in their places, things are working out. Weaponise what you've got. If it's a case of attention deficit disorder, what's the one thing that gives you hyperfocus? Good. Go dominate that whole field.
Yeah, absolutely.
OCD. Okay, what are you particularly OCD about? Well, like my one's really bad one is about formatting. And for some reason, if I see things on sheets, I go, that should go there, that should go there, that's wrong, move that. Really bad when it kicks in. I don't call myself OCD, it's just one of the things that happens. But if your thing is like, oh, well, things have got to be ordered exactly, well, guess what? Why don't you be that Korean lady that sorts out about houses, that sorts everything else? She's got a TV show, for Pete's sake.
What Korean lady?
The one where you said that you could only have 30 books, otherwise it becomes cluttered.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah, I've seen the meme.
Yeah,
But
I haven't seen the programme, but nonetheless, she's got a form of OCD. Everything must have its place, everything must go here.
I must admit, I look at my bookshelf there and I think, you know, a lot of that, do you know, it's more memories. That's why I have what I've got there. It's not about having books, it's about their collectibles and
it's about the experience.
Yeah, the nostalgia.
I don't like the modern houses where it's all completely cold. I like, it's got to be lived in.
Do you know what? You know, like I've just started decorating.
Yeah.
Bought this recently. Bought another one as well. Do you like it? Apparently it's some kind of limited edition.
Yeah.
Limited edition skateboard thing. It's made out of bamboo.
Yeah, it looked bamboo-y.
And
you can actually see the
Oath is the name of the skateboard. But it's for me wall. I'm gonna, over in the corner there, I've got two of them, both with Japanese designs. I'm gonna mount them on my wall and just, again, made this all.
You want a little thing at the bottom so you don't have to damage the board.
Well, a bit of string through there and a hook in the
wall.
wall.
That's a good plan. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
No.
I didn't see the holes on that side properly.
Yeah, so, I thought that was a proper top
really
design.
nice.
Yeah, something like that.
Make some really nice bows out of bamboo.
Yeah, I bet you can, can't you? Because you've got maximum strength and flexibility, haven't you?
Yeah.
This is it's just gorgeous. Even when I saw the bamboo side, I thought it was just lovely.
You can see the love and craft that's gone into it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, I'm about to smash everything. There we go.
Yeah, but if you did, then you've got to put it up in separate pieces and you've got your own story.
Yeah. So, ADHD, OCD, what are you saying?
Weaponise whatever your skill is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whatever it is. And if you don't know what it is, great. You've got an adventure ahead, you've got to find that skill.
I think I'm on that adventure now, you know.
I am. I'm actually, I feel like it might have happened really recently.
Really?
Right, the first step on it was actually becoming a teacher, I think.
Yeah.
Throughout my whole high school life, I said I'll never become a teacher. Even college, I said. My mum's a teacher, my dad's a teacher. My dad became a teacher.
I'm a teacher.
I'm talking mainstream education.
Alright, sorry, alright. Hey, I'll be working for AQA again soon, you know, so you know,
well,
be after folk like you.
To be fair, everyone should be a teacher in some regard.
I agree.
And I think literally being a teacher helped me being a teacher in a number of different ways and helping me finding what path lies ahead. And I remember particularly, it was actually, I would argue, it was a moment when I was standing in front of a whole class of Year 7s, 32 of them, and suddenly realised they're all looking at, there was Year 7s, this was their first week in school, it's their first science lesson, and then there's Muggins here, just going, oh wait, I'm responsible for every single one of you. Every single one of you is now looking at me as if like I'm the holy grail of science.
Or a giant nerd.
That too. The tweed might have not helped with that.
No.
Or did. I love my tweed jackets.
Have you got a tweed jacket? Yeah.
I've got two of the same type because the first one lasted 4 years, started to wear out, and I managed, when I went to the shop to get a new one, there was one left that was the same make, and they stopped producing. I was like, I'm buying it if it fits.
Do you know what? Knowing you wear a tweed jacket makes me want to call you sir more often.
And
like, it's proper weird, but it's proper teaching out.
Well, yeah, fitted suits, and if I were like a kid or whatever finds out about what to talk smoking, used to smoke pipes, like, you go, yeah, I can see that. It's like, yeah, but that was the time when I was standing there in front of the class and just going. It was actually a more case of an actual adulthood. Now it happens that I was around 5 years. Well, I was 23, 24 at the time, so it was a bit before.
It is about looking cool.
Yeah.
You know, and some people it isn't. Some people just end up doing it cause. I suppose that might have been me.
Yeah.
Doing it cause, but it's an interesting thing. I just gave it up.
Which kind of says that you might have just been doing it.
Oh,
because
after
whatever.
decades, just went pop, done. Happy with that. Could just put it down, you know. And I could give or take smoking at any time.
Yeah. But we don't have that ritual anymore. We don't have like what GCSEs or congratulations, great.
Yeah, we have stupid bollocks things, don't we? Like prom.
First job.
Like when did prom start to become a thing in Britain?
I hate that.
I can't. It's not even. It's like it. Prom to me looks more like we're celebrating the fact you can now start destroying yourself, as opposed to now you become a man and you start looking after and taking responsibility for yourself and those around you.
I'd rather graduation.
Well, that sounds much more mature, doesn't it? I like it.
The problem is, you've pretty much hit on the nail on the head. It's kind of excess debauchery, that sort of style, rather than the case of here's your step into your new life. Here's what you've done. This is what you've succeeded in doing.
Yeah, it's a celebration of your achievements and what you're about to achieve.
Yeah.
Not how much can you drink, what stupid dress can you go in, and who can you finger. Because that's pretty much it, really, isn't it? At least that's the impression I get from the movies. Or can you get beaten up by some guy in a skeleton outfit in the box? It's like Karate Kid.
Or what? So I tell you what you kind of need, and this sounds a bit trite, but nonetheless, what you need is that moment of getting past the introduction of the tutorial of a computer game. That moment then you're going, and here's the wide open world, bang, and it's that moment of going, let's do this. It's that, you want that feeling of when that door, that gateway opens, you go, look, this little stuff done, that's getting me ready for whatever is out this door.
I tell you what, school does not do that.
Not at all.
I remember, so I left school, I did college a couple of years, and when I left college, I went away to do a job. I became a magician's assistant, you know, so I started touring Scotland. I was actually, I'd dress as a witch or as just a lad in a suit, and I'd managed the music, I'd managed the stage setup, and it all sounds bigger and better than it appears. But it was great fun. It was a great experience. However, when I came back, I worked in a hotel for a little bit, and then I became a self-employed bicycle messenger. All of a sudden, I had to learn all about tax, national insurance, keeping books, blah blah blah. The unfortunate thing is, I hadn't already learned about all that, and I had to learn about it in reverse.
Yeah.
And like, oh shit, I didn't even have math skills or anything. I didn't give a cack at school anyway, but I know they weren't teaching me how to survive. And I had to learn myself, and it was It was not nice, if I'm honest. I remember, because this is a time when there's no internet, no calculators on your phone, no Excel.
To talk to.
There's literally just like your memory, your bank account, on paper bank account.
Yeah.
You have to scroll through everything, find what you were paid when, add it all up for a year, make sure it's all between the right dates.
Yes.
Blah 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 blah.
Hell of a skill, man. But it's really sad that you say it's one hell of a skill. It's like, yeah, but how many people can do it?
It's gone, and it doesn't matter. You know, how many people can do it? Not a clue. I just use PayPal now because I can just go on my phone now and go, all right, everything that come through this account between these dates
It's work.
and then it goes like that. Yeah, it's work, and it just brings it all up. I add it all up, send it off, or just fill in a form on the internet, and it just tells me what I need to do. It's all a piece of piss. You know,
that sort of stuff is great. But we need. I think there's something to be said for somehow creating some sort of ritual. But the problem is you can do it these days of actually coming up with something for everyone to do.
Well, maybe.
Unless there was something that everyone had to do.
That's an interesting point, actually.
Which is like the idea of national service. Is that you're after national service? Is that your rite of passage? This is when you've now earned your right to vote. You've earned your right of this. You've earned this. And
yeah, I can understand that. It's an interesting thing when it comes to the military for me, because at one point when I was younger, I really used to think I wanted to be in the military, and the reason is because I figured I lacked discipline. I now know actually that there wasn't discipline. I lacked what I had and really valued was freedom, and I'm very much an artistic, and now that I've gone and kind of embraced that nature of myself, life's become so much better and so much more beautiful and abundant, lucrative, blah blah blah. But it's in comparison to Bob, who's coming on, by the way. Bob's one of our friends. He's been a Royal Marine for many years, so we're going to get him on. We're going to have a chat with him.
This is how well disciplined and planned he is, asking us about what he wants to talk about.
Yeah. You want to list the questions.
I know you did the exact same thing that I did as well. I went, I'm not answering this.
I am going to answer him, but I figured I wanted to speak to you first. But
I kind of didn't want to. It's like we're just going to talk and see what happens. Be careful with that. That's the remote.
But now we've brought it up on camera. If there's anyone out there who wants to ask Royal Marine a question, you know what I mean, and ask him what, because thing is about Bob, right?
He's the friendliest guy that you'll ever know. Yeah,
and he's an absolute inspiration to me. So I not that I want to steal any of the thunder for the video we have when he's in it, but like I've known him since he was a little kid, maybe 6, 7 years old, you know, and so I'm like 12 years older than him, and I've known him since he was a little kid, and I see him grow into more of a man than I will ever be. You know, that's what he is. It's not because he's a Marine, it's because he made himself a Marine.
He made himself.
Oh, yeah.
You talk about what I've done and stuff and do at the moment, and he was all self.
Everything. You talk about discipline, determination, passion, fun. You know, he does it all because he loves it, not because he felt he should. You know, and I can't wait to talk to him.
We'll talk. Well, it's one of the things I know that there's something that I want to talk to him about on there, which is interesting about setbacks. He had a very good one.
He did have a great set. I've used his setback. If it's the same one we're talking about.
Yeah, I think so.
His knee.
No, actually different.
All right, okay. So he's had more than one setback.
Yeah. But we won't talk about that now. But to sum up, what you're going to deal with is about Rob, Bob, etc. Is every time that we went out, and we do go out, we end up just, apart from tea and toast in the casino, but you come back just going, yeah, let's do this. Whatever it is, let's just do this.
Yeah, we're doing it.
And that was the same one.
Weeks, aren't we?
Yeah.
Alright. We're
doing it the dumb way as well.
We need to do some prep. I reckon we go for a trek one time. But carry on. We'll bring that up again and separately.
But nonetheless, we'll leave this at the end of Bob. Bob.
Even
even when going out wargaming or whatever with them, etc. It's all the case. Doesn't really. You'll know he's in the room. Or next door.
Yeah, you'll know he's in the room.
And everyone will be smiling. Unless they've got major insecurities about something, because that normally gets.
His last tournament, he did it topless, didn't he?
I can't remember.
Which
would
be even more of an eye opener if it was a lady. But you know, you're in an indoor place playing war games, and all of a sudden, marine body comes out because he was that warm.
Yeah.
Crackers.
Anyway, we should avoid it because we'll have plenty to talk about.
Oh, he'll love talking about all that again, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. But so questions in.
You want you want to be that person as well, the person that we just sat here now, we just talk about and go, yeah.
Yeah, and I just
please send them in on a postcard and
oh yeah, stamped self-addressed envelope. What was it? Maidstone. When I was a kid, Art Attack or something like Maidstone Ken. Blah blah blah.
It was Art Attack, but it was Maidstone Ken.
Yeah, I always remember Neil Buchanan. Neil Cannon saying it. So yeah, what else was Maidstone Ken?
But before I forget, you've had a busy week. You were mentioning about that you've been busy recently.
Yeah, just this is what I mean when I say like I've kind of embraced my arty and very laid back nature, and good things have started to happen now that I've embraced it more. People seem to be attracted to me more, professionally, across multiple professions, and more opportunities have just popped up that I've taken or have just been given to me.
Yeah.
Not forced on me, but here I am in these things, and it's just been wonderful. Now that I've let go of the ideas of what I think I should be doing to the things that very much come natural to me, my personality and my skill set, and I'm forcing things less. So, for example, if I learn something new, I've learned it new because it's part of my passion, not part of my feeling of duty.
Yeah.
Feeling of obligation. You only one obligation really is to be positive. That's one thing I think. And even then, you've got to allow your negatives in order to allow positive to come through.
You need tension to get release.
Yeah. So archery and philosophy. In fact, everything I use.
Don't get me started. I've come up with a whole little thing that I want.
It is one true level. Like we've agreed in the past. I nearly said what I shouldn't say then as well. But one true level. It is everything in life is an analogy for life, because life it's built on the principles of the universe, and we're part of the universe. We're not in it. We're part of it.
In our post-credit discussion last time on, actually came up something that seemed to actually ring a bell with me, and I don't know if I said it or whatever, but it was a machination of our discussion, which was the idea of life equals n+1. And I posted it once or twice.
What's n+1 again?
So, in this case, using the case of mathematical terms, n being any number, then +1. So
n
as in naughty and or November, and basically the idea of life being one more experience, one more activity, one more thing. And
absolutely.
I've come to change it even more. It's actually, instead of being life is n+1, but the universe is n+1.
Yeah.
And I'm blaming Alan Watts for that, because I've got 9 hours through all those videos, etc.
Hey, it never ends, does it? It's fucking genius.
When I was doing my sewing and stuff, that I was doing my bits and pieces, etc. Just great background listening to it. But his big one was interesting, and he has hit me on a level, and I think I'm going to be looking more into that sort of Zen area, because it's.
Every night I go to sleep to something of his nature, and it's just beautiful.
And it was
absolutely beautiful.
The interesting point behind it actually seemed. It was one of those ones as where convergent thoughts. I go, I was thinking about that same thing, and it's like, this is clicking, and maybe then what are the other things that we click on and haven't thought about, maybe press there. But one of the ones of n+1 is the universe is n+1. It's like, because he was talking about God and the universe, and well, it's kind of what I was discussing before about my idea of the universe and God and so on and so forth, where the universe at the beginning, yes, there was everything that there is now, right, at the Big Bang that we know of, and we'll just use that as a point. But guess what? By splitting, it then had something new. Something interesting happened. Whether you want to agree that random does not exist. It now means there's interactions between the 2 objects, the 3 objects, the 4 objects, and so on. And, or the ridiculous numbers of objects that actually are there interplaying with each other, and quantum mechanics and quantum entanglement and all that sort of crap. And, well, actually, there's the interesting thing, that is, by Denning, although everything's together, everything's now is more than the sum of its parts, everything is n+1. And n+1 is another word for infinity.
Yeah.
And our position in the universe, as part of the universe, we're the cog. We are that +1 part of n+1.
Absolutely.
And there was a really interesting one, I do want to bring it up, the one that came up, and it was the interesting one about death. And because it keeps on coming around recently. And
circle of life.
Well, wasn't it? It's not even about the circle of life and the full Buddhist thing of that one. But it was the interesting one there. Which is scarier? The fact that if you were sat there lying in the box, well, that would be an experience. That's still something.
An awful one.
It would be starting awful, but then where does it become after that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But then isn't also nothingness? Well, that's an experience in its own right. The end of your experience is still a new experience, because now even the whole world has a different experience, because now you're no longer there, and it's just that moment of, oh.
Yeah, and that's the point of what God, if you will, all he wants. The poor guy's alone, so and he's bored. He's been doing this for a very long time.
Yeah.
So, and all he wants is experience.
And my favourite quote, and I still have to do it, and this is one that I want you to take away if you didn't see me post it the other week. I absolutely got it, and you clocked on it instantly. Yeah,
I clocked it instantly. And I've been digesting Alan Watts for a very, very long time.
One of my favourite quotes, and it's all about the best way of thinking about his addiction, because that's where he discusses it. And it's, well, for a start, if you're going to try and beat the devil, don't give him advance warning.
Yeah. Which is not easy to do.
No, especially when you are the devil. Well, it's all part of you, because you're part of the universe and everything all combined together, so therefore it is all part of you. And even in terms of quantum entanglement, we're interacting, so therefore all of it is all of us anyway. There's no such thing as self, which is the other thing that
there is only self.
Snapped. Well, there is no duality, there is only unity, and
yeah. As in, when you say unity, you mean anything? I don't know if you know anything about this. Do you mean like the unified field theory, if you know what that is?
I can't remember what that one is.
So unified field theory is, I assume it's exactly what you're talking about. So you've got the quantum field. The quantum field is everything and everything at all times ever.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. We're part of a big machine, and whether or not that machine's programmed to do something, or it's just changing as it goes, but we are.
I think the big mechanic would be a better way of saying it. Not a machine. That'll imply some people to get all issy-fitty about the fucking Matrix and all that.
Yeah.
We're definitely part of a big mechanic.
But even if we were part of the Matrix, that's even more fun. And I think that's something that Alan Watts does hit on, and you can hear in his voice a number of different times.
It's a game.
The game. There is that moment of well, if you suddenly gave me something else to have in the situation, if you suddenly went, oh, we're just a brain in a vat. Really? What else is there then?
All right. Yeah.
Like, hold on, wait. So we're in a brain in a vat. So is this all real, or have we just made this all up? And if we've just made it all up, then, and that's all in my brain. Great, awesome. But I'm a brain in the jar, right? What's outside the jar?
Yeah.
And that's what science should have been, and that's also what the philosophy should have been. What is that? What is then outside the jar? And great, okay. But are they in a matrix as well? Are we just one big Russian doll all the way up to the top?
And so you come back to our friend, the Onion.
The Onion.
Which is a direct Alan Watts quote.
Yeah, and I don't know if I've taken in some of his connotations or similar things.
It's hard not to.
I feel like I have.
Yeah.
And I think he's hit that je ne sais quoi. That pizzazz. I don't know. I like
he's
it.
engaging, isn't it? Like massively. Engaging.
I've got his books. I haven't listened to them because I'm quite enjoying it with the music.
Oh, yeah. It's awesome with the music. It's just fucking wonderful. That one I sent you, number 10. Like
I started at the beginning.
Did you?
Yeah.
Number 10's
Start at 10. Start at 1. Like even some of the bits repeat, but it's so worthwhile listening. And some of the stories he tells, I don't care if they're lies. I just think they're great.
I can't ever get enough of hearing the same story again and again and again, because it's every time it's truthful and beautiful.
And it's coming from him as a human.
Yeah.
Not as... Because in there, I know they're conversations with people, but it feels like it's a conversation like we're having here, we're having there, and he's talking to the audience, and you hear the laughter of the audience.
Yeah.
Like,
and
no one will laugh at this joke, and then everyone laughs and goes, yeah, got you.
But they realise how ridiculous. That's why it's funny, isn't it? You'll go, this is how ridiculous things are, or people are, and he goes, isn't it funny? And everyone's going, oh yeah, and it's like, yeah, it is. It's like, it's all doesn't have to be as serious as we think it is. And that's
I think it's slowly partially changed my actions even on this weekend, or Friday when I was at Jorvik.
I tell you what, the right Alan Watts clip can change your entire life, I reckon. I mean, it did for you, because I don't reckon you'd have paid attention until you heard The Sound of the Rain Needs No Translation.
Yeah, it's just that.
If you hadn't have heard that, you'd not have paid attention to the rest of it.
I needed that. But so they go, oh, I get that. But I know there's more. What is that more? Give me more!
You go, you shoulder deep. Yeah, you know.
That's seed and train spotting.
Oh, yeah, ooh. Yeah, great.
But that's something you actually have to do at some point, though.
Put your hand into a box.
Not literally, metaphysically.
I have actually had to do that.
Well, to be honest, at some point in your life that's going to happen to you. Sorry, children.
Embrace it, it's a +1 experience.
Well, it is, isn't it, though?
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. And you're talking to a guy, in counselling recently, I actually told my counsellor, who is she's just gorgeous, but I'm sat there and I'm having a lot of fun telling her about the time I astronomically shat my pants in public. Did I ever put that on video? I brought it up.
I don't know, I think you brought it up, but you didn't say it.
Yeah, so I'm telling her, well, I'm quite happy to tell that story to anyone,
but
anywhere.
It's part of the game there alone.
Well, exactly, it's a beautiful story to
watching
tell.
Someone twisting it, it's like, and especially as well, when they're meant to take a professional view on it, and you're just going, this is so much fun, I get to play here.
Yeah. Oh, like I've made her cry a couple of times. Got quite a story to tell.
Yeah.
I believe maybe it's different to others. Maybe it's easier, or maybe it's harder than others. I don't really care. If, this is me being insecure now about people judging me. But yeah, it's all an experience, and even all my gut issues that we've said in what?
All of them. And
right, yeah, okay. Right, so yeah,
that's not a bad thing.
They're all a lesson. They're all a lesson, and it's all been fantastic. I have some great information stored inside me because of all these perceived bad things that happen to me. But they're all a gift. I have information in me that somebody who it hadn't happened to doesn't have.
Yeah. But this, once again, this is you.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing once again, because I know I can feel that moment just got my brace like, oh wait, that was something. But it is you, it's all your experiences, everything that makes up you, and what you pass on, and what you give to each other, and what you share with each other. And it can even give you a simple example. Walking across the street, walking past someone, and you just go, I'm just going to smile, I'm just smiling. You look at them and just like, yeah, it's just a smile. And instead of just like, smile, it's like, actually no, this is actually a good day. Or the stupid thing of, like, what is someone's life going through, and just watch them as this interaction between people. And it's even better when you're not even hearing them, and it's just what is you, what are you, where have you come from to be here, and where are you going to be? And I don't know that story, and part of me goes, I kind of do, and
Well, you kind of do know the story, or
No, but
do you want to know?
I do, but I also want to know the story, and maybe that's what God is at the end. It's someone with VHS tapes just going, "What's the next one?" There won't be bloody DVDs.
To be honest, I kind of I have started looking at things like that, like my life now. So the question: who is the thinker behind your thoughts? Because you can observe your own thoughts. Well, hang on a minute. If I can observe my own thoughts, then I'm most certainly
I'm not
my
the one
thoughts.
pulling the...
So who is the observer behind my thoughts, and who am I? You know, because I am not. Maybe part of my personality is due to my thoughts and due to my upbringing and whatever other natures and nurtures. But ultimately, it still doesn't answer that question: who is the thinker behind your thoughts? Because that thinker behind your thoughts is there probably the moment before you squeeze out.
But then at the same time, there's also then the emotional side now, which is also you, but then also has an influence on the thinking behind your thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the subconscious mind, if you will, and like it makes you start to look at life in more of a movie kind of way. So the more and more I connect with the thinker behind my thoughts and observe my thoughts and observe my life, well, I'm watching the movie and get to sit back and get the popcorn out. I get to enjoy the time. I'm crying over the idea of dentists and the dentist, because this is kind of like the first time it clicked with me that life's kind of a movie. Like, I had to have a tooth out and I am in tears about this, but the moment he goes like this, he gets this clamp on my tooth and he's about to start pulling away, and he goes, "You're going to feel some pressure now." But my brain goes like this. Imagine some boggly-eyed freaking gremlin going, "Brace yourself!" Now, I started laughing.
Yeah.
And I'm watching this and I think, if this was a movie now and that happened, I'd be pissing my pants laughing. And all of a sudden, well, that's where I was. And I watched myself in this movie situation. Obviously, it was a first-person view, you know, very real. It was in more than 4D, I can tell you that. And this guy's wrenching in my mouth, and I'm laughing. He's going, "You all right?" And I'm going, "Oh, what happened?" And I've gone from complete hysterics and tears to laughing while this guy rips this thing out of my mouth. And it's just like, all of a sudden, through that change of perspective, not just through how I look at the situation, but where I look at it from. And it just all became incredibly entertaining.
It's entertaining and it's relieving, and you're just like going, "Well, it's fun. Why not? Where do we go?"
Yeah. Like, you shit your pants astronomically on like the day I had, and it's just funny. Like,
should I tell you, here's one for you to watch out with as you, like, it'll come up in your experience, and it's a good one when it comes up. And something to pay really attention to is someone you care about, and you watch them either morphs in two ways. And you'll see it if you're very, very careful and pay close attention to it. You can sometimes see it happening, which is you'll be looking at someone, you'll be talking to someone and interacting with someone, and whatever they do, the way that you look at them, end up being a discussion. She left later on, but I'd see it. The one moment is she was a bit like my heroine. Like, that moment's like, if I saw her out the corner of my eye when she was just like about the thing, it's like I'd be drawn. It's like I can't stop it. I don't know what's going on. This is ridiculous. Why is? And the point is, like, so I mentioned it to someone and they were going like, "Well, why don't you go talk to her?" I was like, "No, I can't. I can't, because if I go over and speak to her and there's anything wrong with her, any pathetic little thing, and I'm going to go, this whole moment's been ruined." Now,
kind of like the idea that you shouldn't meet your heroes.
Yeah, I was going.
I've had an experience like that recently, and heroes, schmeros, tell you.
The thing that I built up on this one, things like, I called her an angel when I sort of see it, and there's if you follow my Facebook post myself, like, I think I've seen an angel, because it's just like, what, this doesn't make any sense, and so I'm blown away, right? And I'm actually going to change that there. She's my snow angel, which is based off a song I keep on listening. The snow angel, absolutely perfect in that one segment of time, but that's all it was, and that's beautiful because it was only for that moment in time.
Yeah, so you're saying you've carried a moment in time with you, maybe built it up a bit more than it could have, would have, should have?
No, I think it's just exactly as it should be, but it shouldn't last any longer than that.
Okay. Well, that's what I mean. You that moment in time is that moment in time, but that doesn't mean that's her now, and you're freaking out because you've carried that and you're projecting it back on her in these later dates.
Yeah, but
is that what you mean, though?
No, I just think it's something you've got to let go.
Okay.
Because that's why she's the snow angel. She's not someone goes, oh, I hope I see her.
That is what I said, yeah. Because if you feel you've got to let it go, then that is what you have done. You've brought that experience and that emotional attachment to that experience forward to the other times. And if it's to be let go there and then it can't be.
Maybe some things are just going to be left as they are, but maintain the memory, the experience. Like I said, it's that experience.
Be grateful for the experience.
Yeah.
Not try and abuse.
And sometimes it is the experience, not actually playing the part in it.
Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, or interfering with it.
Yeah.
There's another way of looking at it. And it's also like the desire to bring or extend the experience, it's like philosophically speaking, is to leave you in a position of want. So that's where you'll be put, in a position of want, not in a position of fulfillment. Yeah, deep.
I think that's the actual moment there of it seems deep, but it really isn't.
No, maybe. If somebody wants to go on about the nature of the universe a little bit more, I'll happily go on about that. But it is what it is. So, how was your weight? How much more have you lost?
Not much this week.
Not why?
It's been half term and I've been having a good half term. In the sense of, well, like the first week and a half term, my friends were out, which I wasn't expecting to be out. I'm like, we went out to go have something to eat. We ended up in Ben Brazil, which isn't too bad. It's all meat, so it suits me. But I wasn't doing 10,000 steps as much. I was doing a lot more of my archery.
Cool video, by the way.
Yeah.
I almost stopped it because you went through a couple of rounds, a couple of quivers, and then it changed the view.
Yeah. And
I didn't realise it went on a bit too long for me. Yeah. So that's why I sent that extra message. I don't know if you know.
Maybe.
Right.
I'm still glad that one of the people that I posted in that, Sharky, Joel Turner, who's a big archery Zen archer, so to speak, he was the person who posted a message like, I couldn't get the video perfect.
Yeah.
And it's like, I was like, tried to send it. I don't know if he has actually watched it because I don't think he applied or whatever, but nonetheless, noticed, and even some of the other people I've tagged in there noticed. I'll take that, take that, the boost. And actually, one of the things that I did, and this is what led me to possibly doing a philosophical book or short little thing, was actually one of the things I did, which I got from Joe Rogan when he was talking about this person, Joel Turner, who's I'm mind hunting shot IQ on Instagram and Facebook and places, was that one of the ways to improve your archery is to have some sort of mantra as you're doing it, so you go through the same processes. Like, I've been working on my breathing, just in general, just like, okay, well, I've got to control this. Just doing that box breathing, like I said before, 5 seconds in, hold 5 seconds, let out 5 seconds, and so on. And so I started doing that while breathing, so when I was drawing, I was inhaling for the 5 seconds so that I'm always in that position. And then I went, okay, well, why not have a mantra instead of 5 minutes? And then I realised, I was too busy focusing on, because I don't use any, if you want to go see the videos on YouTube, so you see it. And I was focusing too much. I don't have any sights, I don't have anything else. It's just me, the bow, which is the traditional Hungarian bow, and the target. And so it's all about what I'm seeing and where I want to put the arrow rather than going, well, the sight's here. And I realised that I was actually going, oh, well, I'll put it here, so I've got to put it there, just there, off there. So I'm like, no, I'm doing it wrong. And I just went, every shot is separate, or every arrow is separate. I suddenly went, right, that makes a lot of sense. So why are you worried about the last arrow? You can't change that arrow. And suddenly, there's the point where the archer philosopher part came in. It's like, okay. And that's why the first picture was put up. There was like, I just started thinking about this, and then the next time later on, it's like, there's one of my second to last lot. So I took that second picture and go, oh, it seems I've got better already now. And it's just that moment of go, every arrow is separate, and it was all these bits going together, and it's like, well, it's true about life as well, which is why you started smiling instantly.
I started smiling instantly because it's a painting lesson I give.
Yeah.
Like, people are freaked out by doing complex models. Why are you freaked out by doing complex models? Oh, it takes so much skill. No, it doesn't take any more skill. What it takes is the realisation that you can only do one brushstroke at a time.
Yeah.
So if you can only do one brushstroke, if you remove every other brushstroke opportunity on that model, tell me you can't do that one brushstroke, and you can. And then when you've done it, we'll move on to the next one and affect the last one and the one after, and just, it's all you can ever do.
Especially
you can't paint the full model at one time, you can only do one.
Yeah. I think that applies to absolutely everything. It's like, day at a time, do whatever. It's like,
day at a time, gesture at a time, conversation at a time. And yeah, and this is that letting go thing that I was speaking about earlier on, because I think about the future now, but only in terms of what has to go in my diary.
Yeah.
And it goes in my diary, then I forget about it, but the rest of the future is a gift. It really is. Like, what happens tomorrow, just, I experience it, I don't preempt it, I don't plan it too much, and life's just got so much better.
Well, one of the things I've got at the moment, which has been happening today, which I mentioned to you about my vision being off, which is fine now, was I actually went to go see about laser eye surgery.
Okay.
So I had my assessment thing before I ended up doing this podcast, which involved dilation of the pupils, which is one of the reasons why my vision was really weird.
Sure.
But
you're not being dust powder in your nose.
And like that itself, laser eye surgery, because it is one of those things. Well, if it goes wrong, then
Would
you
you
damage
like
your
about
eyes.
gigs on? Let's have a look at it. Oh, okay. I
And
like your beard again, by the way. It stayed.
Yeah, I've
trimmed.
trimmed.
Have you trimmed it still?
I haven't trimmed it. I've changed my little bit of a routine to it. I've gone to beard butter rather than beard balm. Don't get me started. I ain't been working on the beard. The comb that I got at Jorvik.
What's the difference between beard butter and beard balm?
Well, beard balm is a little bit more sort of like
Oily.
it is more oily,
Is
and
it one
you
more
still
oily?
still have to melt it in your hands, etc. Where ironically, beard butter is actually a little bit more like a cream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What? I've lost it.
And the way to comb it, it's just worked. And maybe it's also a little bit more the
Well, the sides
the
have gone,
stuff as well.
the bits that I cut off last week.
Yeah,
They've all stayed away, so it still looks trim. Weirdly, it's the first thing I look for when I don't know if you noticed I gave you a funny look when you walked in earlier. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, still there.
And so the laser eye surgery is like when you've got the chance of things going wrong, and the thing going wrong is a big one.
Is it a laser in your eye?
Yeah, it's that. Like that's the big thing. But actually, with the Alan Watts thing, I was kind of thinking, I was sitting there, kind of like, yeah, that doesn't actually bother me anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, well, even if it goes wrong on his vision, and like I say, and I, because it's unlikely to go wrong for both. Well, my pirate costume becomes instantly better.
And if you're really unlucky, it'll chop your leg off, and then you'll have the peg leg excuse.
I was going with this. That was my joke about my gown. It's like if it keeps getting worse, I'm just going to cut my leg off, and then my pirate costume does become infinitely better.
Look on the bright side. If all that happens, you'll get compensation. You could end up on a tropical island. You might earn a parrot. Who knows?
What do you do? Well, I decided to become a pirate. But no, it
Why
was
is there no painkillers out at sea, Christian?
all the parrots ate them. So I bet
Because the parrots eat them all. Or the pirates eat them all. It's pirates in the
parrots eat them
jungle.
all.
The pirates eat them all.
Really bad pun. I've got one.
Go on. A joke.
A pun and 10 bodies are found in the room. Pun in 10 dead.
What?
Unintended.
Oh, right.
Pun in 10 dead.
Right.
Anyway, enough of that. It's getting silly now.
And that's it for tonight, folks. No, it's not. But how long have we done, by the way?
An hour 11.
An hour 11? Oh, okay.
Well, we've gone quite deep into Alan Watts philosophy territory.
I think we've...
and stuff and Bob and stuff.
I think what we've done today is given a couple of nice short video opportunities, at least two. Me going on about me doing your bloods and blah 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 and looking after yourself. That's valuable for people, I think, and definitely the Alan Watts section is worth it.
And I was talking about my week. That's what I was doing.
Yes, you were.
But yeah, I was focusing more on my archery because I thought that was my start of my week.
We could do an archery section. Oh, sorry.
And I then was doing stuff like preparing my gloves to be a bit more, well, they're not authentic, but to be more up to scratch for fighting on Thursday, which I do when I'm all fight night, and then also on the Friday, going down to York for Jorvik and doing stuff there, where I've just been kind of busy doing stuff.
What was Jorvik again? Tell me. I think
Jorvik is the old name for York.
Okay, I did not know that.
For York.
Yeah.
And it's basically.
But you're not literally calling the town Jorvik, though, are you?
No, it's a little event
at the city.
So
Jorvik's an event at York.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's still on now, I think.
Is it? Is it
it's
like
on for a couple of days, yeah. No, it's in the centre of town.
Alright, so anyone that lives in or around York, or is going to York, or wants to go to York, or loves what is it?
Vikings.
It's just a Viking celebration.
Yeah, and there's markets and stuff and that stuff, which is why if you saw my post of all my stuff that I got, apart from the cone, because I don't have a picture.
Oh, wow. Do you know what? If I'd known, I might have come with that.
Well, luckily someone gave me a lift in the car, and they're just like, oh, there's one extra seat.
Can arrange a little trip with me on that, because that sounds nice. I started watching Vikings again on TV, by the way. So carry on, yeah. So you went
so I got those little bits, and it's kind of led me to. Like, yesterday I went with my friend and we went, she went horse riding, I was there as well, just because, it was something she enjoys doing. It's like, well, why not go out with my friend and go somewhere where she really enjoys actually doing what makes one of her passions. It's like, we could go sharing that. And like an idiot, I forgot my video camera, so I filmed it on my phone.
Have you got footage yet?
Yeah, it's on Facebook.
Can we put some in now?
I'll ask her. And
well, that was fun, wasn't it? There we go, just so you can cut it back in.
At 1:12 or 13. And
do you want me to write it down?
No.
Sure, you'll remember it?
Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah. You can write it down if you want.
I'm going to write it down just in case.
And
if we're not doing this properly.
It was important one of having the experience of that. It's like, even then, it's like, it wasn't technically my experience. It was her doing what she was doing, but it was an enjoyable experience nonetheless, etc. You can see someone to actually enjoy their passion. There's something beautiful in that, in its own regard. And then today has been all busy and everything else, starting with my sewing bits and stuff that I was sorting out to make things fixed out. Because that's one of the fun things about being a reenactor sometimes, is you just got to go fix some stuff. And
someone's leaving me little presents. You know who you are, you little monkey.
And well, today when things go in plan, after the sewing stuff, I got my power tools out, and angle grinders are scary.
Yes,
They're not scary.
Yeah.
The sparks I don't care about. Nothing will set alight. That's fine. It's the fact that if it breaks or anything else goes on, there's shards flying around.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
have you seen footage on internet and things like that? You know, isn't this like the disc will snap in half and half? It just got straight into the wall.
Yeah, that's really helpful when you're using one. But no, I did the work on my axe, which the picture's up and it was on Instagram, etc. My day and actual way to go. But the interesting one about that axe as well is it gave me another passion again. Like the axe is, I said it was controversial on the thing that I bought.
Like, you bought an axe?
No. This axe that, like, some people saying, oh, I can't use it and so on and so forth. It's like, actually, between 940
use it for what?
For reenactment.
Right, okay.
Which is ridiculous.
So we're talking about game rules, essentially.
Yeah, but it's ridiculous. But the reason why it's ridiculous, the fact that some people thought it might be possibly ridiculous and can't use it, even though it's an actual based on axe, it's a Peterson type T axe, different Peterson, and
E with not
and it's like, well, there's 22 finds of these axes, this axe head, etc. And they said, oh, but it's a farming tool. No, it's not. It's quite clearly it's gold inlay and silver inlay on some of them, and so on and forth. But it's not even about that. The important thing is, well, first of all, learning by doing, by using power tool. Found out one of the new disc heads that I got of it. It had grinding marks where I took off a whole bunch of one of my other axe heads that I've been working on, and it's like, oh, wait, what does this one do? And now it's cleaned up, and it's like, great, learn something new by doing that.
By trying something new.
Yeah, and the Dane axe bit going together in one go, like 3 hours work to actually make that whole Dane axe together. Pole went perfectly, my plan went as well as it could. Really good, and it feels great.
Put a picture of the things you made for this in this bit of the video.
Yeah, I put it up.
Can we put it up
I'm just on the. Yeah.
Because I'm interested, because I remember.
I'll add it in post because it's going to be easier, because it's this will be the time where I start putting stuff in.
Yeah. Right, cool.
And it's really nice to be able to work with your hands, and I think it's an important one to have these little bits of skills.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Learning to do things with your hands that isn't computer bullshit. It's a wise thing to do.
Well, it's actually one of the other reasons why I want laser eye surgery, which is completely silly. Well,
completely silly.
And what is partially, it's for a silly reason, but nonetheless it's quite a
What's
good
the
one.
silly reason?
And like, for example, never mind, it's partly to help me with when I'm doing the reenactment stuff, so I can see better, see properly.
So that's a very sensible reason.
Yeah, the silly reason though.
Given
I think
how
I mentioned
close
before.
spears were going to eyeballs in that first video we watched, like, whoa.
The silly one is, if there was that apocalypse scenario or a scenario like that, I don't want to be limited by my glasses.
Oh yeah, exactly right.
Or the fact that, oh well, your vision's got worse and we're 5 years into the apocalypse, whatever, and you're sitting here that you're cleaning your fucking glasses. It's like, yeah, no, I don't want that.
Are you a prepper? Is that what you say you're admitting to be?
The Vikings have made me a prepper. I have got enough of that. I'm not a prepper in that regard.
Yeah.
However, I do have bows and arrows. I do have weapons, and I have a lot of tactical stuff. And I know that I'll be that bad. It's like, what's that? It's like, well, this is all my gear that I'm carrying. So, what?
Yeah.
But it's that sort of side of me that there's part of me who's going, well, what happens if that does happen? Will I be a liability? I don't want to be that liability. Which is, like I said, there's another drive behind losing. I think I brought it up in episode 1, where it's like, I don't want to be that liability due to my body. I don't want to be a liability due to my glasses or anything like that. It's like, because then I'm now free from it. Because they are having a bit of control of me, which is kind of my journey and all. It's just removing those parts that control me.
Yeah.
And
that's why I'm on my health journey as well. Is I feel limited by my little health obstacles, and I need to overcome them, or I feel I need to overcome them in order so I can be a lot freer around the planet in my life, or in other people's lives and for other folks as well.
Yeah. Which is also one of the fun things about making that ice cream.
It was a good post, that.
Yeah.
I quite liked it. I like the fact that you shared it in the recipe as well.
Well, I just...
Again, if people want to understand more about the way I cook or the way Christian cooks, just ask. I'll do it now the way we cook.
Yeah.
I'll do that. I'll happily.
Well, it's even easier now with the camera.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's like even my normal lunches, etc. It's nothing spectacular, but if you want a way to lose weight easy and get that sort of thing, like, yeah, I have to do that. It was a bit more interesting than just my mints.
Well, I wouldn't mind doing more things in general anyway.
Like cookbook.
No, not a cookbook.
I think we should do one where if I can get hold of a.
Because we can do mobile video as well from our mobile phones.
Yeah.
I've got a good old selfie stick here.
Yeah.
Well,
we've got that now as well. We can have it in a particular phone.
Well, we can do all sorts.
Yeah.
In multiple places, and so because I want to start trying more things and getting out more.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about maybe joining you with archery or the DDP or going climbing more myself, and just again it is kind of more it is more content for what we're doing, but the content isn't the point. Yeah, the point is is doing more and experiencing more and showing people.
Yeah.
You know, so I just figured, you know, I don't know.
Well, but climbing's a good one as well, because one person climbs, I can hold the cam for the other.
Absolutely. But also, if we are doing this peaks,
we need to get out more.
We need to get out into some kind of countryside with some kind of big effing hill.
Yeah.
Go up and down it a couple of times, you know, and see how we get on. And documenting our first hike up some freaking mountain would be a very good idea. I reckon people would love to see us.
Well, the thing is, if I can charge up the other battery, etc., then we can have that.
Yeah. So this is less wieldy and expensive to carry. I'll carry this all the way up.
Yeah. But
because you're going to be carrying it, whereas I'll happily hold this on the end of a stick or put them on and back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Cool.
Might be able to attach it to that.
I know.
Either way.
Oh yeah, no, it's curved on the top, isn't it?
I could just attach it. You could just hold the stand. Anyway, yeah, no. Hopefully, we'll add some more stuff like that as well, because it's not, like I said, it's, as you said, it's not about content stuff, but we might as well film it rather than not.
Well, yeah, we're here to share our journey, aren't we?
Yeah.
And if it helps, it helps. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
But no, so yeah, not so much on weight loss this week, but I'm fine with that. I'm not worried by that or anything else, because one of the things I have actually come to is that actually me losing weight has become easy.
Wow.
And that sounds really harsh.
No. How did you find the fasting, by the way? Did we discuss that last video?
I don't think we did.
No, I don't think we did either.
Oh, because it was afterwards my 30-hour fast, wasn't it? No. Either way. So before half term, I'd been doing the fasting, but I did a mega fast.
Yeah, I remember you counting down, and that's when you led up to Ben Brazil.
There were there were loads of people. Well, no, it wasn't actually connected to that. It was a different day.
Alright, okay.
Although that would work really well, although probably dangerous.
I'm sure you were counting down to 30, and then the next post I saw was Ben Brazil.
It might be the next. It might be the next status, but I didn't. It wasn't connected to it.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening is I decided, right, on the Wednesday, I knew that I had parents' evening. I knew I had. Yeah, I said I was going to do the 30 hour because it was the day before parents' evening that we had the podcast. So what I did, I went, right, I'm going to try and do at least a 30-hour fast. So that would be when I finished my meal on Wednesday evening, which was before the actual podcast, all the way through to Friday morning. Now, the reason why I chose that day was I decided it was just going to be a disastrously epic day. And
a disastrously epic day.
Yeah, as in like, there's going to be a lot of stress on me at that point in time. There's going to be a lot of tension on me. But it's just going to be awesome.
All right, you mean you're asking for the adversity?
I knew it was coming.
Yeah. You knew you were getting stuck in.
Because I had a 4-lesson day. I was already tired anyway because it was that Ofsted. I basically up till after lunch, I say lunch, I didn't have anything, so it didn't make any difference. I then basically slept through period 4, which I had free, but which wound up a couple of other teachers in an amusing way. They sort of like, how are you sleeping there? It's like, I need it. And then by the time that I'd reached that, then it was parents' evening. So I didn't have time to go out and get anything to eat or anything else like that. I did have an energy drink. I had like 2 during that day, which was rubbish. Still haven't beaten that yet. That is my still thing that I need to get past.
You've got energy drinks, I've got cups of tea, and they're a difficulty, I find.
But I think I'm finding that actually I don't need it.
No, you don't need it.
Well, no, even more. I'm talking about the caffeine in general.
Yeah.
I'm just using it as a crutch and an excuse. So yeah, reached parents' evening, and by this point in time, I've not only not had enough sleep because I had about 5 hours sleep, so I didn't sleep great that night, and and had a whole day of teaching apart from that one lesson where I managed to get kept. That was a lifesaver, that half an hour of actual sleep. Which wasn't sitting in a chair, by the way, it wasn't like anything else, I just sat and got the penance evening. Like, okay, I've got all my data, I've got all the stuff that I need to talk about. And penance evenings until Ben does CGI and puts it there. Bonus points for that. And but the point is that, and it's a silly trick because it's played on the don't and so on and so forth.
Please CGI getting splattered everywhere.
And like, it's a stupid trick that we can play because we don't listen to don't and it puts into your mind. But I did that with my words.
Yeah.
And then if I write them down, this alone and is squiggles, numbers with the word horse next to it. But I know what that means. Yeah. And you wrote that 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Which is a message from the past to the future.
That point of view. It's interesting you bring this up because I had a similar discussion in my counselling session last week about how words, you need to be very careful with words because they're as powerful as they are.
Rule 6, I believe it is.
They're also very binding, you know. So, and I found that the choice of words. So to me, they were being positively powerful in this discussion I was having. There were words that actually bound me and held me back and held me down and constricted me and blah blah blah, depending on how you chose to use them or perceive them. You know, I just popped out. It's like, you know, that's why do you think they're called spells?
Yeah.
Or why do you think you spell them? You know, it's not just that you construct it. It actually does have properties, and it does. Anybody that says it doesn't just needs to use the N word and watch how people freak out.
Well, any word.
A
word that isn't.
Word. Yeah.
Right, here's another one. You can take it. It works in different angles. What about the classic word that we use colloquially, so casually? Oh, when I'm trying to sell something, then take the time when you're in Games Workshop when that sells wrong. Well, you've got your spiel, haven't you?
Oh yeah, your patter has to be absolutely down.
Which is then also play on words, which spiel being your talk and comes from spell.
And the impetus of which you put behind that can change it again and again and again. Yeah, you need to absolutely be a wordsmith.
Which also isn't that far away from the word for play.
Okay.
German.
Interesting. Oh, spiel.
Yeah.
Right, okay. What is it? What is play?
I can't remember what it is now.
How do you know it's not that far away?
I can't remember.
Did you get the phone out? Where's my phone? But the power of words, how you use them, how you perceive them, like, should be used with great responsibility. You know, and understanding when and how they're being used in specifically ways towards yourself as well. And it's when I was at school, I once brought up a little idea, which again, like in school, I got with certain people because of the wacky ideas I had, and this would be one of them. But I used to say, like, you know, we think in words a lot of the time. Not a lot of people think we think in pictures. Very much when you're thinking about what you're going to say to somebody, you very much construct a sentence in words. You don't construct it in images.
Well,
you don't. There's no image.
There's abspielen.
Abspielen, right? So yeah. Okay.
But to do is.
So like, we're very much limited by our thoughts in that, because it was about trying to do something, and you'd think, oh, I can't jump that gap. Well, then you won't jump that gap.
Yeah.
You know, and the only way you will jump that gap, if you do have those words in your head, I can't jump that gap, is to overcome and break those words.
Or just change one word. How do I jump that
gap?
gap?
Yeah, absolutely. But either way, that's breaking the word, isn't it? And it's breaking the way you move forward. And the interesting thing is, if you didn't have words in your head, you would probably be a lot more uninhibited. And
well, you'd be like it'd be your animal side coming out again.
Very much an instinctive and gut side. And imagine if you never learned those words in the first place, or any words, you kind of consider yourself, or we might assume we become more primitive. I'm not sure if we would, you know.
The question is, it a gift? It's a
we
gift and a curse.
Yeah, absolutely. That was exactly what I said when it's both man's greatest gift, because we allow cooperation with ourselves then. Or at least we assume, because hypothetically thinking, who's to say that we wouldn't have a different form of language that isn't built around these runes and would be built a bit more around
looks and
gut feeling, you know, and a sense of species camaraderie or something like that. We couldn't build something entirely greater than we've already got. I know it sounds wacky, but this is
because we wouldn't also be able to draw. Well,
that doesn't matter, you know. Who's to say we would need to draw, you know? Or there'd only be one real way of finding out, and that's to.
Would it be a case of there is no communication? It's just you follow whoever's doing.
Yeah, and who's to say that science has to exist because of these things? You know, there could be a billion ways of actually developing amazing things. Well, I mean, maybe we are a product of that. How did cavemen become better than cavemen? Because I bet they didn't invent writing first.
No, but they started drawings.
I bet they.
Which drawings are the same thing.
What I mean is, some caveman didn't go, right, I'll draw a wheel, and then I'll draw how to do fire. They figured them things out first. And made diagrams, I would assume, came much later, and writing came much later after invention. That's very interesting. I wonder if that's true.
I don't know.
I'd love that. I'd love to.
I like
to know that. That's quite intriguing.
I like the idea of
that proves the hypothesis, or at least would add validity to it.
I like the power of words compared to the power of pictures. Because they're both different things.
Two different things, yeah, absolutely.
Because, well, you can always play with the ones with synonyms and so on and so forth and play on words. But then, like, if I drew a stick, the simplest thing is basically a straight line. Maybe a little leaf on it and so on and so forth.
What you might say, dot.
Yeah. If you just go a stick. No, but stick's got an object. Okay, well, if I say think of a stick, or just stick, your stick's different from my stick that I drew out, but if I draw a stick, then you know what stick that I've seen. Like, is it a massive stick? Is it a small stick?
No, it's just a stick.
What colour's your stick? Maybe like birch rather than actually. Yeah.
It's brown, but I also saw it in a black and white cartoon outline.
But there's the question of like what the word itself.
Yeah, I've also seen it alive.
As simple as it could be.
Yeah.
It's the fact that they're different but the same, and that's part of the fun. They use the phrase a picture tells 1,000 words.
Mm.
Yeah, but one word contains so many pictures.
Yeah, absolutely.
Play on that one. Dog.
What?
Just dog.
Dog. Yeah, yeah.
The word. How would you write the word? The fact it's a play on the word. Swap it all around, it becomes God. What type of dog is it? A Dalmatian? Is it a wolf now? Because they're connected to the dogs.
Is it a smutty girl from up the road?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you what, I love language things like that. You know, like people say, like Chinese is hard because it's got different pronunciations mean different words. Well, it's like, well, English has that as well, but English has the same word, different context.
Sean B.
Will mean different things. Yeah, Sean B. Sean B. Like B-O-W. What object have I just described?
B-O-W?
Yeah.
Boy.
B-O-W.
Or B-O, bow.
What objects have I just described?
Well, there's two instantly off the top of my head. Well, there's two
nouns.
Objects.
Yeah, is there? Like
it could be a command.
Bar of a ship. It could be a command. It could be an action.
Yeah. Well, it could be a doing word and also a command word.
Correct. So, and this is the interesting thing is, only context tells you which it is.
We go back down to the three objects once again there, in case of the everything must have a context to it, otherwise it is anything.
Anything, yeah, absolutely.
And even then, majority rules.
Again, the fact that we all agree on what it means.
Well, it doesn't mean to be all of us, it needs to be more than the other side.
It means enough that the other side needs to like conform or rack off, you know.
Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it? And there's so many words in the English language, which I'm sure there is for many other languages. You know, in fact, to be honest, you know, like learning Spanish and French and the Latin-based languages, you know, they're gender-specific words. Like,
so why do you choose those for genders? It's like, why?
It's strange, isn't it? Like, why would my word change if I was saying this word to you and then in it to a
Well, it's not even that.
literally the word has to change it. It's as simple as that.
Well, it's not even that. It's that the words are gendered.
Yeah, words are gendered as well as the words gendered themselves, but also some words will change gender depending on who you're saying it to.
Yeah.
You know?
It's
crackers, isn't it, how language works like that. You know, but language absolutely fascinates me also in that if you follow it back and keep following it back, I reckon you get to the truth of who we are and where we came from.
There's a story, isn't it? The first speaker.
Well, it's like take a random word, like the word door.
Yeah.
Now, if I said the word cupboard, well, you could go, it's a cupboard. But you take the word door,
there is no other small.
And you kind of can't break it down. So if you can't break it down, I kind of ended up asking where does it come from, you know, and it actually comes from like Scandinavian, other words that mean D-U-R, and back, and it means portal, and then you go, well, what does portal mean, and what does this mean, and what does that mean? You're literally taking on a journey just through one word, but through civilizations, and use, and history, and things start to get a little bit more wacky and esoteric the further back, you know. I mean, just try it. In fact, there's a challenge for anybody. Choose a word that isn't made up of obvious words, like cup, board. Like, you could say car. Well, car comes from carriage. Yeah. You know, so
where does carriage
bus comes from omnibus, and there we go. So carriage, well, that's what you're carrying all the time. So don't choose a word that's made up of obvious words, but the word door,
it's something really mundane.
Of anything, you know, like you can't even outside of the word. Like the word cup. Let's just take cup. Well, it's cup. It's you cup your hands.
Yeah,
you know, you can already make something out of it, but you can't make something out of the word door. Yeah, you can't make something out of the word shelf. So why do we choose those specific sounds? Oh, it's just randomness. It ain't, you know. Like, have a journey back through some words and have a look. It's very interesting.
For some reason, I have a feeling that window is pronounced wrong. I think it should be something along the lines of window.
You reckon?
Yeah.
And then that would explain why door comes from. That's me. Oh, I see why you say that. Window, you stop in the window, it's like a windshield.
Yeah, window, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe, I have no idea. I've just pulled it out of thin air.
Yeah, well, that's the point, isn't it? Pull a word out of thin air and find out where it comes from as far back as possible. It's a very interesting journey.
Well, I think it's an interesting
indeed.
Point of, like I said, and I think maybe it's a different way of the way that when it comes to teaching education, about looking at how are we actually teaching it, why are we teaching it? Why are we teaching the things that we teach? And the English language sector, so you've got loads of kids that go, I don't want to write, I don't like this. Fair play, I understand that. And I said we try and make them run.
I was that guy.
We try and make them write far too early, which I went a bit about last time. Might have been cut out either way. But what you haven't shown them is what is the power? What is the power of speech? What is the... I don't know if we can play this, I'll see if it gets up, but otherwise we might get YouTube. Because otherwise I'll show you a speech. I'm going to talk and do it at the same time. Because
you also did to the cinema,
and yeah, because it remembers it. Now, if you ever wanted to see a situation about power and speech, and it's this speech. Now, what's great about this speech, and I'm deliberately not telling you what it's about, is it's done by a person that's famous for not speaking.
It's not Arpo Marx, is it?
No. But it's someone that you would assume doesn't speak. And there's two things here. I'm going to show you one that it does include the music as well.
Is it
and
Tommie, Jerry?
No. And it's actually a point where music actually then also plays a massive part as well. And you can see how the music will change it very differently as well.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, see. Any guesses from anyone, by the way? Pause the video now, have a quick guess. Yeah, I've seen this a zillion times and it is amazing.
Yeah.
speech, and it's incredibly relevant now. It's an absolute warning. You know. Can anyone else hear that?
I don't know if I do.
So is this showing on? Is this showing on the screen for other viewers? Oh no.
It's showing on our one, but
technology.
I'm a bit worried about what's actually currently happening at this point in time.
Fucking slow.
It's looking like there's a major problem.
A major problem?
Well, not a major problem, but I don't know why it's going in slow motion.
Did it not tell it?
I think the computer's using too much CPU. It's like 7%. I don't know why it's not.
That's still slow, that. How weird is that? It looks full on there in slow motion though, doesn't it?
Right, either way, you can look it up yourself. Technical difficulties, okay? I probably won't, if it's being that slow and permanent, okay? I'll include the link and everything else.
Well, I think a lot of people have seen it. It's Charlie Chaplin.
It's Charlie Chaplin, the great dictator, Hans Zimmer music. Now, if not, you can always look at that. I'll include the link. But that is the power of words, where it makes people move. It makes people do things. Now, you can think about the negative side of these people who have charisma and do it, and the positive side of people who have charisma and do it.
Yeah.
And we're very easily swayed at this point in time by the power of words to do things. There was a protest yesterday, I'm alright.
Okay.
Yeah. The other day about someone else and their speech and then controlling speech and so on. And I'm not going to go on a tirade about free speech because there's no point.
It should always be free.
And yeah, there shouldn't be a question about it because it's how we think. Now, there is something to be said even for, going back to computing, is it? There's something interesting about Skyrim and the dragons. Now, the shouts that they have are actually them speaking, and actually what it is when the dragons were fighting each other, they're actually basically doing slam poetry. And, well, actually that's what we end up doing when we're talking about having a discussion around a debate. It's my words, my power, my understanding, my meaning, and absolutely everything that I'm trying to do against your words, your meaning, your thoughts, your understanding. And if you start to limit things, you start limiting the spells that two wizards are throwing at each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think what we need to promote in teaching of speech, language is probably a better word, is what power do you wield if you use it well?
Well, yeah, well will always be a matter of opinion, objective. But yeah, absolutely. How to understand the power you're wielding is definitely. It is kind of almost enforced on us in a real poor way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we are taught not to say, don't say that, don't say it like
Why
that.
not?
But yeah, exactly. We're taught, but we're not really taught. We are kind of just told and limited and just kind of meant to take things on face value, aren't we?
One of the ones I do is when students swear. Now they'll throw it in now and then, and fair play to them, that's what you do as a teenager and so on. And as adults, you just end up swearing far too often. And then it's like, well, what was if you keep on using that same spell all the time? Well, really, you're trying to grab onto that power of something going wrong. Fuck! Right? But if every other word's fuck this, fuck that, fuck this, whatever, it's like, well, where's the power? Where's the emphasis? What does that word mean? If you use it constantly, then it has no meaning.
You know, you'd be wary out. Do that with everything, though, can't you? You ever say your name loads till it sounds weird?
Yeah.
Or
looking at words.
Yeah, you stare at them for ages and they just become gobbledygook, don't they?
And they start losing their power.
Yeah.
I tried to explain that, she was like, well, what's the point of swear words? You want to see someone actually have any power whatsoever? Instantly. Watch what happens when a teacher swears because of something. Then you'll see a word that has power compared to what you use. If a teacher, even using this example, if any of the students end up saying this, says, well, swore on a podcast with emphasis on power and understand, like, well, that's a big deal. That's something that don't normally do that.
People take note, don't they? In fact, we'll probably get taken. If this was like a monetary video, we would, I think, the swearing would be flagged. There's power.
Well, it's arbitrary power. What does a 4-letter word do?
Well, I don't know. It might get this video flagged and taken down, or even muted in some areas.
18 anyway.
Oh, right, okay. I didn't know that made a difference.
You can put it on language restricted, etc., and so on and so forth.
Cool. But there's still a valid thing that could happen to somebody who didn't know that. I mean.
But this is the interesting thing, is we've just instantly put a barrier, or YouTube would put a barrier onto our video, talk about why we swear, to actually prove the point again. Why don't we teach our children
how to swear?
Why? Not even how. They can find out themselves. That's not difficult.
Yeah, absolutely.
But why? Yeah. Why do we use that word? Why do we say hello when we walk in the door?
There's a word. Like door. The word hello and door.
Hello, door.
Where does the word hello come from? Apparently it comes from John Logie Baird, is it? Or Alexander Bell and the telephone?
Yeah.
Just be a noisy man.
That's high, I think it was.
Is it? Oh, I got a freaking clue. Something
doesn't matter.
Maybe able to tell us.
But it's like, look, the kids don't know, why is the save symbol this stupid symbol? Well, it's a floppy disk. What the buggering hell is a floppy disk?
I still remember how they feel and everything.
Yeah.
In fact, your floppy disk will still be different to my floppy disk.
Yes.
Well, like back when I was a kid, it was floppy. You could bend it.
Yeah.
You know, just like a weird bit of plastic card, square thing.
And then there's one funny thing there. So like my choice of words there, I didn't actually technically swear. That's not a swear word. Buggering is not a swear word. It's an act. It's an appropriate act, but nonetheless it's not a swear word.
What does define a swear word?
But there's the fun part of it, isn't it?
I love it, absolutely.
Well, what about like buggery giblets, for example? None of those are a swear word. Giblets are the inside of an animal.
Yeah.
Basically a bit like offal. That's not a swear word. But you can say it like a swear word.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes it's not even the word you're saying, it's what your intent is.
It's just behind it.
You can have power enough that you don't even need to say a word that's understood.
Yep.
Like a scream at someone, that primal scream that you actually, not the band, that you actually have, which don't actually sound like anything you'd expect for a band called Primal Scream, and
do my head in there. Go.
And they're a little pretentious, and well, that has power as well. Like the scream of a child, the sound of the rain doesn't need any translation. That power alone is still there, but we don't teach our children about this power that they can wield. Instead they're like, what? I think.
They just give things meaning, and the meaning isn't enough, is it? Is what you're saying.
And then even then, I don't even put this in a negative way. They've taken those words, take the English language, and they've shorn it down, they've ripped it apart. But they still could carry their thoughts to someone else. Take the word, I hate this word, yeet. Y-E-E-T.
Almost like not a word to me though.
Well, it's not a word, but it is now.
Because we've spelled it.
Well, it exists. It's a meme.
What does it mean?
A meme is...
I know what a meme is, but what...
Well, do you know what a meme actually is?
No, go on, tell me.
So, it was originally created by Richard Dawkins, the evolutionary biologist, in his book, The Selfish Gene. And a meme is basically extra genetic material that gets passed down and changed slightly over a period of time. So it's anything that isn't basically genetics passed on. And now it's images, words, sounds, actions, and so on and so forth. So yeet and language development is meme. It's a meme, so to speak. Because it's not genetically passed on. It's learned behaviour that passed on, and so on and so forth.
Phonetically.
In this case, phonetically, yeah. But
so a yeet is a meme that's passed down phonetically?
No, a yeet is to throw something.
Well, I'm so confused.
So a meme is something that's passed down, or one person to another,
Yeah.
that isn't genetics based, but works in a similar way.
So like some cat with
Grumpy cat, Nyan cat, all
Grumpy
that sort of
cat.
stuff.
Because it's a meme because we pass it from each other.
But then we alter it as well.
Right, get you. Yeah. So what's yeet then in comparison?
So yeet is a meme.
Okay.
And yeet means to basically throw something, to get rid of something. And the whole reason why that, I believe, I don't know, is the term. It's not like, well, that's the noise you make when probably someone in a video at some point went, I yeet, where they threw something.
Really?
I don't know.
So
Someone tell us.
So it's like yoink or snaffle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like snaggle.
Yeah.
You know.
Gubbins.
Right. Yeet does not make. Throwing stones does not make the yeet.
But it doesn't make any
difference. So it's not an onomatopoeia either, is it?
Because that word now has power.
Right. Okay.
That sound.
It's like when nom first started.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, nobody says nom in the food, so why? But nom is the term now.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I get it.
And it's got to be credited to a certain degree that, yeah, they don't use the English language. We take them apart for using like slang words and all that sort of thing. But they've made the word shorter to use it for what they intended to use it for, with using less words, and they can now communicate that to the person they want to, and stop other people from understanding it if they don't know it. So
interesting.
So not only have they carried power across, they've hidden it, they've shrouded it from people that don't know.
I'd have been completely within the shroud.
Yeah.
Or outside of the shroud. There'd have been a barrier.
Yeah. And that's
the little
power.
warlocks, man. Little warlocks everywhere.
But
absolutely, I absolutely agree with you.
And the power of words.
You've got to prove that we're alive. I mean, you could say we're here and there, and we
does it matter?
feel each other, and yeah, it even doesn't matter. But that's going down a different, maybe psychopathic route.
I'd argue why.
It must matter because it wouldn't all be.
No, but why does it matter that you're alive and I'm a robot and you're a robot or not?
It doesn't matter if it pisses me off. Or here's one thing I've been down to ask you since we sat down.
Yeah.
What's your bruises?
That's still fine.
Oh, right, okay. How'd you get that one?
Uh,
A couple of good bruises there. Because I know I do not bruise easy at all. So for you to bruise, I can imagine you bruise less.
that was probably from either a sword or an axe, just hitting the shovel.
Yeah, just them two.
Because, yeah, I haven't got that many others at the moment. I have had worse.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But because I've got my shield there, it's not normally on my left arm and ends up
Yeah,
being
you
on
do
my right
have
arm.
one on your left arm, by the way, so right there. And that'd be where the top of your shield. But your shield's pretty big though, so we won't hit there, will it?
Well, it depends, because I do rotate it around.
Okay.
But yeah, no, those bruises I spent, they're fun bruises, I know why more they're from.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So I'm knackered, you know.
Long day.
Well, I am like pretty anemic, and like I said, I have not slept in properly in quite a while. Actually, I have 0 in my diary tomorrow.
I'm back at school.
You're back at school?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got something to look forward to.
I'm looking forward to going back to school because I'm back in routine and just see what I can take further. So I did a whole bunch of, like I said, one of the other things I did, because I'm looking for new places to work out for the new year and so on and so forth, rewrote my cover letter, and it's quite interesting that it was...
Do you want a vodka?
No, I'm alright.
Sure. Come on, you do gin, whatever it is, don't tequila.
I don't.
Tequila.
I don't drink anymore.
Are you really off it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I won't tempt you. I'm going to have some of Dan Aykroyd's vodka just because.
But I redid it, and strangely, why did I redo it, and like, how did I make it better? Was because the kids were writing it for part of their, for their mock interviews. I was like, well, mine's crap, but why haven't you read it properly? You can write it better. Why not? And so there's those sort of things that I've been doing, and I want to see what from work and everything else, and Like, here's one, and we can talk about a lot of these sort of emotional ones. You know that I kept on talking about the elephant and the rider?
Yeah.
Well, I've developed that slightly.
Okay.
Now, I was thinking that, and this is also based on the happiness hypothesis as well.
That's nice. Lemon water and vodka. Yeah.
It's essentially lemonade, isn't it?
I mean, it's just water with lemon squeezed in it, but that's not offensive in any way, shape, or form.
No, that's just about right.
That's quite mellow.
It doesn't have that sweet snap of the lemonade, which is good.
But it doesn't have the sharp,
Fruity as well.
Yeah, that's weird. There you go. Right. New. I'm going to call it Zooley. Souley. Soul, by the way, feckers. Soul or soul or any other permutation. Right.
So yeah, I've been thinking actually that it's not an elephant.
So the elephant and the rider isn't an elephant. Okay.
No.
Why is it not an elephant?
It's man's best friend. The dog. Now, the reason why I also say it's a dog is because when you're feeling something emotional, and just think about time, and you sit there and go, think of what the dog, and you can choose whatever dog you want.
Yeah.
Choose the dog that represents you, so you've got to do this. Just don't choose one of these Facebook ones that tells you what dog are you. No. Actually, I chose, the dog that I think about is the dog that I want. And the more I thought about this, the more I actually want a dog. I like really big dogs, as you can imagine, because they're in scale to me. And the dog I want is a Caucasian Shepherd. 204. Right.
Do you know there's a joke in there somewhere? There has to be.
Yeah.
Like Jesus is his dad or something like that.
Yeah.
But maybe he's Caucasian. What you do?
203. You've got the pen.
Oh, you want me to write the time down?
Yeah. And
I tell you what, this entire thing is filled with so many great snippet videos.
yeah, I think I might just end up chopping bits out.
I think it would be very wise for us too, for the people that don't want it too long, and for the full hit, the people that do want it. I think it'd be. I think there's at least 4.
Yeah.
You know.
And this one that we'll talk about now in the middle of it. I'd also like to point out, for those people who want the just audio only, it is now officially on iTunes, and I've got it working.
Really?
Yeah, it's on iTunes. We are on iTunes.
And archive.org.
Archive.org, but the iTunes one is on properly, so now that's up, and I've got it working properly. We are on iTunes.
What was the number?
203.
So we've got horse 1.12 and dog 203.
Yeah. It sounds like code words, don't they?
It does, yeah. It does.
That reminds me of a Christmas story that happened once where my mum rang up my brother to remind him to go get something, and it was like, baby, she just picks up the phone and my brother picks it up and just goes, baby beetroot, and hangs up. Mum just goes, what? What's going on? So she just goes, he goes to my mum and said, oh, Ron just called and said baby beetroot. Oh yeah, that's what we need to get. So it's like, oh, we need to make sure we pick it up. I was like, oh, okay, great. But then it was a joke about code words. Baby beetroot is in the cabbage patch. Ridiculous thing. Anyway, I digress.
Go on.
So, the dog, and the way I see it now is, to understand what's really going on, the elephant, we kind of can personify it, anthropomorphize it, but not as much as a dog. You look at a dog and you can tell exactly what's going on with it.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. Yeah.
Or what it's feeling.
There's an affinity and a connection with the dog, massively.
So my emotion I put onto
it is a two-way connection as well.
Yeah, and my emotion is my dog, my Caucasian Shepherd, which is funny because it's big and massive and whatever my emotion feeling is what the dog is doing. Now it is the two-way connection that's going to be the bit that's really powerful in this part. So if I'm feeling down, well, you can see what the dog looks like when it's down. It's like, I'm thinking, well, attention to it. So what do? You pay attention to it.
Interesting.
You pay it some love.
Absolutely wonderful. Yeah,
no, it might be. And I've done this silly thing, so I've been doing this and this partially came from archery when I was doing this, because I had time to walk and so on and so forth, and just think. And a silly thing that I do, but it seems to work quite well, is when I'm walking, I imagine the dog moving in between the crowd or whatever we're going, etc. And feel like it where it is. And it's like, but that still takes place in my emotions. Like, oh look, I'm interested on that, my emotions are interested, that's exciting. That's where my emotions are going, they want me over there. And, or in the case of like sad or happy or anything else, like, when you listen to music, well, you see dogs dance to music and all that sort of thing. It's like, yeah, well, that's happening. But guess what? You can play that game even more. So, like, feeling down for whatever reason, well, process of talking to someone, what's up? And you're talking to yourself, because you're talking to your emotional side, not your thought side. It's your thoughts talking to your emotions.
Yeah. Your subconscious mind is the bit we decided was the elephant last time. I mean, it's very much your body.
Yeah.
Because it reacts chemically and physiologically to your thoughts, and it then responds and creates your emotions. And yeah, having it as a dog is absolutely more wonderful than an elephant, without a doubt. It makes me want to engage more with my own subconscious, and when it's down.
But then you're just doing it.
Yeah,
you do it to yourself.
Yeah.
And you sit there just go, right, let's go. And you're ready, just go. Like, but that's a trick. You could be in such a terrible mood. You sit there, you know, when you're staring at my dog, and it's just like, it's just like this, and then you're by the door and just go, let's go walkies.
This is the power of no words.
Yes, because the dog has no words.
Yeah.
But you're giving it a physical body to express itself.
Chin chin, mother bitch. Because that's massive. That's massive. That doesn't help people who are feeling low. On top of getting your bloods done. On top of finding out what the word dog means and whatever else we've gone on about it. That's big.
But you can use it in simple terms.
You're right.
I was sat there and I was sitting on my computer screen going, what's up? And just like, not even like anything down, because Jim moves pretty good these days. But it's like, you're sitting there just going, we're thinking about things. It's like, what's up? And you know that dog whining, it's like, well, pay attention to me. It's like, okay, so what's up? And it is stupid that I'm looking down at where the dog should be.
Yeah, I've just looked mine in the eye. I've just teased mine. You know, when you give a dog a look, and it goes, and it's playing, but you've only communicated psychically, haven't you, really? And you've given the look, you've got closer a little bit, and it's going, and you know you're both fucking with each other. And it's fucking really, because you have that fight with the dog, when the dog's not biting you, and you know it's not biting you, it's all fangs and everything.
But there's nothing more fun making you feel more alive than actually doing that.
Yeah. I feel great now, if I'm honest, mate.
And at the same time,
because I've just played with my dog.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
that's really,
I found that one.
It's really profound, mate. It's really.
And I don't know what part of the actual hypothesis that actually hit on this one. And that's when I went, well, I was thinking about dogs, etc. I was like, but I can see what a dog's doing. I understand what a dog, and it acts in the same way. Like when it gets angry, like when you're emotionally angry, it's like doesn't matter. I'm just going to go for it, etc. And they get bigger and it's like, yeah, but that's what I'm doing. And
I wonder why dogs are like that. That's interesting, isn't it?
Well, we're closely related to them.
Are we?
Close enough.
What? I don't know.
Because they've got a mammalian brain and a reptilian brain, just like us. It's not as complex.
They're not like mice or cats or.
Well, the problem is with them, we don't have that same.
Or dolphins or.
I think it's because we've socially now evolved together.
Okay.
With that whole connection of man. I don't think it works with cats, because cats will tell you to sod off, and if your personal emotional situation is a cat, I think there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with cats. I just don't think that's a positive viewpoint on the world. Because if you start going, come on, let's go, and your cat just goes.
That's probably too much.
Food. It's full. Don't care. More.
Yeah,
that's not a healthy relationship.
Dogs is spot on. You know. Although there are some wonderful cats that are very dog-like.
This isn't
a You're right. Dogs is perfect.
To understand where your emotions are, well, great. So, what are my emotions feeling at this current point in time? Well, I'm going to manifest the dog somewhere in this room about what I'm feeling. So, like, take for example sitting on the bus. So I'm sitting in the bit, and everyone knows Manchester bus. There's the bit right in front there. I'm sitting at the front there, and I've just got my dog sitting here, and it's just like it doesn't matter whether it's like dog shaped. In this case, it's my Caucasian Shepherd, but it's my mind's Caucasian Shepherd, not even the actual one. So it's that moment of confusion or whatever's going on, and it's like you've just got a dog. What? Nothing's going on. It's like this is fine. It's like, but pay attention to what's going on. Sometimes, it's feeling down. Why are you feeling down? And it might be, when you're feeling down, why? Well, I haven't got out and done anything today. Because you are still that dog. Like, how many times was like, just get up, I need to go out. I need to go out somewhere. Just go for a walk somewhere. It's like,
yeah.
Oh, instantly you feel better because you've gone and stretched the legs. It's like, because you're still the dog.
Yeah. It's wonderful. It's proper. That's valuable to me. And I mean, when I say value, I mean that idea will stay with me for the rest of my life, and I reckon it'll stay with other people's as well. Absolutely, I genuinely mean that's massively valuable. So thank you for that.
Please try and give feedback.
I'm
just
try
like
it.
Thoughts.
Do this what I just did because
You do feel it.
Yeah,
I hope, and I'm going to shorten this out.
My dog immediately cheered up, and I am my dog. Whoa!
It's stupid because you're just like, why? This shouldn't work, but it does because it's you.
Because you're talking to your own body and
it
physiological. It's fucking amazing, mate.
And it can't talk back, but it can.
It talks volumes.
And I just
remember we said you'd have a different way of communicating if you took words away, and it'd be so much more powerful. You've just literally demonstrated it.
Yeah.
You've literally demonstrated it. That's amazing. I'm absolutely beaming at the idea. I genuinely mean it. That's fucking brilliant.
And here's a trick as well that I paid attention to as well, because I did it when I was like, because I don't always think about dog, but dabbling whenever my emotions need to be injected. That's what I'm going to do now. But do the other one as well. How do you make a dog do something? How do you train your dog? Because it still applies.
You
bargain with it, and also you give it treats when
bargaining with it.
When it does something good. And that doesn't mean, okay, well I'm going to give it this special thing, whatever. Because if you give a dog too many of that, its teeth's going to fall out. It's not going to be well. And strangely, we're better at looking, it's been shown, we're better at looking after our pets than ourselves.
Yeah.
And
if you become a pet, then hopefully it'll work that way as well.
But then even better with that one, it's like, oh, you've done well today. Well done, it was a good boy, well done. And sometimes like, well done. Because no one tells you that enough.
I've just got that out of my own head.
This one feels like
my
that.
dog's well happy.
Or you just sit there, it's like, it's okay. And you know, times when it's been stupid, it's like, I don't know, I just feel it's sad. Why? Let's go for suddenly just that change of
ball. I keep a ball there for reasons like that, you know. It's a tennis ball.
Yeah.
Literally. That goes bouncing around this room. And you might go, what? How much expensive breakable shit is there in here?
It's like,
I'm willing to throw a tennis ball around in here on my own.
You've got to let that
care.
free and just like, actually no, this is what I am.
Free is, yeah, mate. Yeah, it's amazing. Like, thank you. It's awesome, man. Wow.
But I need to make sure that one's snipped out as well.
I think it's a good idea. Do you know, I need to get another drink. Can we pause it for a second? Pause it for advert break. If anybody wants to sponsor us, by the way.
Please. We need to sort out that actually, the funding part of that.
Oh, have we not done it?
No, I haven't got around to that yet. I'm trying to get things out more than anything else.
To be honest, I reckon we just carry on the money bits and sort. It'll all sort.
I might just set up a Patreon and then just.
No rush. If it all comes natural, it all comes natural.
And we're back.
We are back. Made myself a brew. I'm actually really tired, which I've already told you, but I'm telling everyone else now. Yeah, I'm quite tired. I'm getting all tangled in the rug. Tangled in the rug. Yeah. Got me Inquisition mug. Good old cup of tea.
Everything you've been told is a lie.
Oh, it's just at the point where it's just too hot. That makes it just amazing.
I'm not a big fan for hot drinks.
Taste that. You might have been having them wrong all these years. there is a knack to to making tea. How's that?
It's better than I've had before, but
See, it's an interesting thing, right? Like, what I noticed in our conversation tonight, that you're incredibly southern, and that I don't mean like in the normal southern versus northern. I think I just like the way you talk, and I noticed it when you first talked about Alan Watts, but it made me realise again how opposite we are. But that also made me think about, when you see a lot of people from, or at least the people that I've seen from, say, America, like Paul Gilbert, or even saw Joe Rogan doing a thing about English one time, like, a lot of Americans don't actually know what a lot of English people really sound like.
Yeah.
So even like when my dad lived in the States, people would ask him where he was from. Are you Scottish? Are you Irish?
Yeah.
And they don't actually know what English accent sounds like outside of this posh thing or Dick Van Dyke. You know,
or
like
if they know occasionally is a little bit maybe Scouse.
Oh yeah, from like the Beatles and what have you and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a maybe. It is a maybe.
But then at the same time as well, we don't know that many accents in America. Although it's funnier because we've got a state-sized country that has so many accents, it's ridiculous.
I don't know, but you could do although doing accents is one thing, but understanding
where it's come from.
Where it's come from. So like you'd know a deep South accent, a New York accent, or you'd know a Canadian accent, and you'd probably know a Texan accent, and you would know. See what I mean?
Californian as well, but
you see what I mean? We get it through them pretty freaking quick.
Yeah, to be fair, they wouldn't be able to do that with us at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell, I can't even do some of them.
And I'm sure there'd even be little micro differences just within cities alone, like in Manchester. Manchester's got so many different accents, it's crazy. I mean, even just a mile that way, the accent changes.
Yeah.
You know, you go 6-7 miles
north.
north. Well, yeah, Oldham is different to Rochdale, is different to Bury, is different to Bolton, and they're only slight differences, but I tell you what, they are so vast, and that's on the outside.
They'll walk down the road as well, which is ridiculous.
Oh, just fine. That was so nice. But yeah, and I'm talking within the Caucasian culture as well. I'm not talking like outside in different cultures. I'm literally saying like, you know, in Manchester, the amount of accents is crazy. You know, and you could see, obviously it's going to be the same because the way John Lennon talks sorry about my ass, by the way. The way John Lennon talks in comparison to the way Ringo Starr talks, they're a world apart, aren't they? You know, both Liverpoolian accents, and there's just so many different ways of colloquialism on top of accent. You know, and it just made me realise that you've got a very southern way of talking, and you know, these times it's very enunciated and pronounced, or posh even, you might say, whereas mine kind of rarely even ever goes near anything.
I have been accused of being posh before.
But it made me realise, like, the only way people outside of Britain are really going to get a grasp of different ways English people talk is through Game of Thrones. So you're very much Lannister, I'm very much Winterfell.
Yeah.
You know, and even Winterfell it's a little further east than we are.
Yeah.
You know, so...
Yeah, because that's about Nottingham.
Well, it's Yorkshire, isn't it? You know, it's Yorkshire, Leeds sort of way. So if you're talking...
Yeah, but they kind of make the wildlings a little bit more
Yorkshire.
Yorkshire,
It does sound like... No, yeah, but...
They got it wrong.
You reckon? Because I don't know anyone... I know a lot of people who live in Yorkshire. They don't sound like anyone in Game of Thrones. And do you know what? Whenever I hear the Yorkshire accent, I just like... You know, sorry for people from Yorkshire, by the way, but it sends a little shiver up my spine. Mainly because there's a lot of knobs that I know that have a Yorkshire accent, not because anything wrong with Yorkshire people.
Your experiences have just done that.
They've just shaped me, you know, so people from Yorkshire represent, you know, come on, let's make up for the knobs. You know, but the I find it very interesting. You know, I find it very interesting.
I find it interesting how it came into being. Like, I understand roughly how it would have originally started to occur.
I watched somebody talking about that one time. Who was it? Was it Fred Dibner?
Might be.
Somebody talking about it
He's a
because of the
person.
canals.
Yeah.
Because it's as a word means what it means and sounds what it sounds in Liverpool. As these people travel up the canal, it gets kind of contaminated, and the word starts to change as you get further up the canal. So you'll hear one word in Liverpool, and then the same word in Leeds. They actually sound very different. But as you go back down the route of the canal, you hear how that word becomes the earlier word. I can't. Oh, who was that?
And that was sound like Fred Dibner.
I can't remember.
That was a good man.
Yeah, absolutely. If you ever watched him, if you can get the video in now, at a point you can edit it in. Fred Dibner, freehand, climbs up this ladder attached to the side of a frigging brick chimney, and he's like, however old, and he's just there, like 400 foot.
Yeah.
But he even goes under a frigging,
Yeah.
you know, he's climbing like that, whatever. I don't know what that is. Overhang.
Inverted, yeah.
Overhang. Yeah. And you know, he's even like rattling. Oh, this ladder's a little bit wobbly, and you're thinking he's a speck at the top of a red brick edifice. You know, he's a long way up.
A brick could fall, and that's it.
Yeah. And he goes, and here I am. I've just come just to inspect the brickwork on this 300-year-old chimney stack. Whacking away at it or whatever he's doing.
They don't build it like they used to.
Like, what on earth? You know, but he's climbed it like it's nothing. Like an old man. Wow,
But then
amazing. And his son and wife are at the bottom watching him like that, as if it's nothing.
Yeah.
No, man, I couldn't.
That's the great moment of underestimation again, as we were saying. It's like, always be able to take someone else's breath away.
Absolutely. It's in fact, you watch Alex Honnold on Joe Rogan. You know where Alex Honnold is? You know El Capitan, the mountain.
Oh yeah. Oh, is he the free climber? The one.
Yeah. I've just
So free solo, or whatever.
Yeah.
I have watched that one.
Free solo, but that is. And I've known about Alex Honnold for a long time because I'm in extreme sports and all that business. But watching the first time I saw him stood on this ledge. Oh, like just watching anything that lad does is.
Well, it's one of the things that he's kind of
freaks you out.
His viewpoint is very similar to what we talk about to a guard. He lives it more than anything else, and it's a case of like, well, Joe asked him, why don't you use a parachute? It's like, well, it gets in the way. It's heavy. Chances it might not open anyway.
And it opens and then you're facing the wall and you get splattered into the wall.
Yeah.
And that's it, you're done.
Yeah, and more likely that it's more likely going to cause me problems than actually not. And it's like, if I go, I go. It's like,
Yeah. So you just mentioned Joe Rogan. Then you have watched that interview.
I have listened to that interview. Yeah. I'm a bit behind.
It's terribly insightful, isn't it? One of his shorter ones, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Just over 2 hours instead of like 3+.
Which is what our ones are aiming at each time.
I'm alright with that. You know, in fact, I like the fact that again this one's got some lovely chunks in it.
Yeah, we've got some nice.
I think it's got a lot of great content in this, especially the dog. The dog's the highlight for me, right?
Yeah.
You know,
There's been something that has got on my mind, just like, get that one out.
sure, I'm gonna get that book. Get the book because my next experiment.
Okay.
It's my next experiment on myself. So there's a slight problem with it, but it's only an assumption I'm making. So it is the book, Dr. Gundry's Diet Evolution.
Yeah.
So here's the thing from the back. Why plants are good for you because they're bad for you, and why meat is bad for you because it's good for you. Alright, all sounds pretty wacky. Why plateauing on this diet is actually a sign that you're on the right track. Now this is the thing, I'm trying to put weight on and build up. I'm not trying to lose weight as in that classical diet sense. Why artificial sweeteners have the same effects of sugar on your health and your waistline. Why taking antacids, statins and drugs for high blood pressure and arthritis actually masking health issues instead of
just as an idea, is the concept of this one is basically how your body doesn't adapt to it? A bit like how
I'm only about 10 pages in, so I'm not going to comment exactly just yet. However, I remember I have this friend who works in private health care, and he works in the heart department. Now this fella, he's not a nobody. I think he's on the list. I can't remember exactly what it is. I think he's on the list of the top 100 heart surgeons in the world. Yeah. So that's a pretty tight list. All right. Now he's actually invented cardiac machinery.
Yeah.
And I asked him, mate, I said, have you heard of this machine? And he's like, yeah, we use it. This is what it is.
Yeah.
You know, and I went, all right, I'm reading a book by this guy. So this guy is a bona fide.
Yeah, he's not a hack.
Yeah, he's not some nobody. But what I first started watching on Tom Bilyeu's channel, you know, Impacts Theory. I'd recommend it, by the way. So remember Impacts Theory and Health Theory. Tom Bilyeu, Bilyeu. I think that's how it's spelled.
Is that the one that you micro fracture bones and they become stronger? No, that's the wolf.
Oh, I don't know. That's
anyway.
Like hardship gum. That's how they develop block breaking abilities in some instances. I won't say in all because there's more to all that than meets the eye. But anyway, I'm very interested. What the guy has to say and what I've read in the book so far is very interesting, and it seems to tally with a lot of the things that I've experienced. Yeah. So in his interview he talks about these things called lectins. I think we may discuss this in an earlier video.
Yeah, I don't know if it got cut off or whatever.
Now, so we discussed whether or not we discussed it or not. I'm going to go over it again now. So lectins. Now gluten is a lectin and it disturbs your gut. Right? In whatever way it disturbs your gut. It disturbs your gut. Now, a lot of plants have these lectins in them, and they're basically the plants where you're saying, I don't really want to be eaten, thank you very much. Yeah. So I'm going to make you ill in the hope that over time you'll feck off.
Yeah. You
know, because plants don't want to be eaten. Have that, vegans.
Right? They can hear, they can smell.
Well, they like being spoken to. So and they respond positively to that. I know, because I've been trying the experiment with money plant in my bedroom. It's doing well. I had it from a snap-off shoot that my mate knocked it off his own plant by accident, damaged his own plant. I took that shoot and we've grown it from that, and it's now like this. And I've grown it with love and positivity. And being that plant, I kind of made myself a promise to the plant that we're on a journey. If he heals, I heal. Yeah. He's fucking done it.
And something that, but in some regard, that's an accountability. That's a pet moment.
Yeah.
We're going to get through this together.
Here's another experiment I've always wanted to do if you want to do it. 3 jars of rice.
Oh.
Tell when you love it, do nothing to the other, tell when you hate it, let's do it on camera and let's see if that's a real thing. You know, and that then is, if that turns out real, then imagine what your words again do and the meaning behind it do to another human being. You know, and I absolutely again believe that the words in my head and my experience of life is what made me ill. Yeah. And people might say whatever they want to say about that, but I was there when I did it, and I was there when I did the opposite, and I was there when I did this just now, and how much better I felt physiologically.
And you felt the rock in your soul.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which your soul is that connection to the universe.
Absolutely. So this book, to bring things back, this book is saying that. In fact, when I was watching the interview, I started to realise that he was talking about these lectins, and we should be looking in a certain instance for low lectin foods. And what I found was, and this is what really made me interested, is the foods that got me up and out of hospital and very active and very successful in my weight gain and the rebuilding my health. When I actually looked, a lot of them are on the list of low lectin foods, and I found them foods, all of a sudden I'm cross-referencing common cofactors essentially between all the other diets I've read into and tried, and now this guy's going, it's lectins is the thing, whereas other people are going a little bit more fluffy about why they
Yeah.
choose those foods. This guy just goes, it's lectins, and here's why, and here's the science, and you know, I'm not a nobody. I know I'm not doing a full breakdown of what it is, but first I want to read the book. He's got another book as well called The Plant Paradox, which I'm sure
I've heard of that one.
which I'm sure is why plants are good for you because they're bad for you.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do it, and I'm going to try it on myself.
But then it's the same reason why we eat chili and spicy food.
Because it's damaging, it helps us.
No, it's the plant's immune system.
Okay.
The plants don't have. We have an active and a passive immune system. We have things such as our skin, etc., and then we've also got our more specific active part of our white blood cells. Plants don't have that. They only have one immune system to deal with viruses, bacteria, and so on.
Okay.
And herbs.
Yeah.
So, chili, that spiciness and those flavours and so on and so forth. The onion.
Yeah.
Okay? We eat them not only because that bit of spice is something interesting, but also because, guess what? They're antibacterial.
Yeah, yeah, but especially with things like root vegetables, because they live in the ground, they live with a lot of bacteria.
Yeah.
I mean, mate, who gave me works in private healthcare, he got me onto that, this idea that that's why these plants are so good, is they contain all their own antiviral, antibacterial, antimicrobial, and when you eat that, well, that's what you get filled with. That's why they're so successful, because they grow in the ground.
It's just one to be careful of, that they have too much of an effect on you.
Like what? Which plants have you got any examples? Because some of the strongest I know is organic garlic, and that's just a treat.
Oh, no, I don't know, but maybe that might be like some of these ridiculous chilies or something.
Oh right, I don't know. Did you watch Gordon Ramsay on Hot Ones?
No, I didn't.
Do you
see
know
that
what Hot
one.
Ones is?
No, but I think it's like one
pussy,
of these.
giant pussy cheated at the end.
Did he?
Gordon Ramsay, yeah, he absolutely cheated because he brings freaking squirty lemon and lime.
Yeah.
He moans from like the fourth from the end onwards. He's moaning, he's effing and jeffing, he's not happy, and finally when he gets to the last bit of chili to have on this chicken, he just goes like that, loads of lemon. He's just squirted it off. He can't hack it. He's not had that last bit of chili. No way, no way at all. So yeah, I was like, Gordon Ramsay, man. Think he'd have a little bit more decorum than that, but then when you watch the Russell Brand one, I tell you what, there is some godlike thresholds within Russell Brand, because he took it like there was nothing happening. It's like, yeah mate, there's something interesting happening there. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it right now.
Is it just that he likes really spicy food?
I reckon he has been through an ordeal. I mean, I want to think about the pain I've suffered physically through my last couple of years, and even recently. I have hats off to people who have Crohn's, and you know, I saw a guy the other day. He was leaning in a particular way in Asda. I said to the person I was walking through him, I said, he's leaning like that because he's in pain. I'd say he's got gut issues right now. I wouldn't be surprised if he's got Crohn's disease. And you can just see it, and people with Crohn's disease live with excruciating, and it's not an exaggeration, every day they live with excruciating pain, and they function. You would not know it. You know, I know what I'm looking for, and I can tell it a mile off, and I can tell it with Davs, you know, in Games Workshop. Literally went into him one day, I looked at him and I said, you're in a lot of pain. You know, nobody else would give a shit. They would, because they wouldn't know to see it, and he's not going to say, you know. And it's excruciating to the point where really, you know, that scene in Alien when what's his face? What's the freaking actor called? Whatever. John Hurt. Yeah. I mean, it's that painful. It's that painful, and over time you become accustomed to it. Anyone else with Crohn's disease will verify it. And you just want to rip yourself apart. It's fucking fun. Getting a little bit of a cry on talking about it. So Russell Brand, he's probably, I think he's been through a little bit of pain.
Oh, I'm sure he has.
Physically, with, you know, heroin and blah blah blah, and he's also been through a lot to overcome it. So I'm sure he's just learned to.
I'm not even a big fan of him, but I don't deny that. I think
he's great.
I think he's a little bit more pompous than.
Yeah, he's a giant fop, isn't he? I'm sure he'd be the first to admit it.
But to be honest, that's the thing that I really dislike, because the
Cockney fop
is that. But it might also be because of the fact that I grew up in London, and that sort of person just grinds my gears. I don't want. There's certain bits that I do get, but I just don't. He just annoys me.
You watched his interview with Jordan Peterson?
Yeah. But even that got a little bit annoying, because he does. One of the things that this might be just complete pet peeve. He uses more complex words than are necessary, and in a way to make himself sound smarter. I think he's learnt to do that.
Yeah. Well, I have.
And I find that irritating, because as a person who constantly has to simplify words, what is the point of a really complex word when a simple one does?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Unless you're trying to hide something else or to show something else. No, once again, it's why you're using
words as tools.
Words as power.
Yeah, absolutely. See if we can get him on the show. Do you reckon one day we'll have someone proper on it? I'd absolutely love that.
I want someone proper to ask us if they can come on. That would be the one. Not us asking someone, but someone asking to come on.
Yeah, I mean, that's like an ego stroke, isn't it? I mean, at the end of the day, as long as I'm helping somebody, I think I'm incredibly happy.
Yeah,
you know?
It's that letter, it's that note that you want.
Yeah,
but
to be honest, I'm gonna liken it back to painting, in that, I've had that letter in painting.
Yeah.
I've had it quite a lot more recently. And
well, you always want more of those.
It's not that I want them. It's that they kind of become the accumulation of everything you've been trying to do. Though you've never aimed to get the letter.
Yeah.
The letter validates everything then you've worked to do. So like the first time I was asked to be a judge, within the industry, for not just any old thing, but actually nationally and internationally recognised tournament or competition, to be asked. Yeah. And I've never chased it.
Yeah.
And to be asked meant so much, and it still means so much to me. And
so it's just giving you that badge.
Yeah,
Look,
But
we know you're there.
I treat it with the utmost respect, in that the first year I did it, that kind of validation, I didn't understand the value of the validation until that first year, and I made a lot of mistakes in being that personality. So the second year I made changes and I learned more again, and it's very interesting that it opens another door of learning. It's not on the other side of it, it's not now Tommie you know it all, it's almost like Tommie there's a new set of skills to learn, and it's really about humility is what I learned.
How to be more critical
of yourself.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. But it's the skills of being critical. For example, the reason why I took the camera out.
I'm going to clarify that, because it's not about being critical of others, though. When you're a judge, that is what you have to do. But the learning comes in how to be as responsible as possible within that critical, and actually you need to then look at yourself and become critical. And that's really the big thing. It's not about being critical of others. It is about assessing. It's also about being able to communicate and validate your own assessment as well, and making sure that the assessment is fair within the objectives of the organisation, but also right. You've got to be able to validate it. And you're talking in terms of art. How do you validate
it's a very
art?
fuzzy moment there.
So I'm gifted with a lot of responsibility, and I can ruin somebody's year, because people will put a lot of time or more, and each year I have had to do that and deliver that bomb, and I can't say I like doing it, but each time I had to give that feedback, I literally had my face just went, I have to give this, and I literally have to step up to that plate and deliver the news in like you say, you can't hide behind words. you have a responsibility to deliver respectfully, honestly, openly, fully.
Yeah.
Because really, what I want as a judge, and I'm sure it's the same for like people on MasterChef and things like that. They don't want to find the shit people and get rid of them. What they want is they want everyone to be as good as possible, so they get to taste and experience top quality products.
They want to be sitting there at the top going, I can't choose. They're all amazing, but that's really good at this. That's really good at that. That's really good at that one. And it's like, so it's like, can we have 3 different companies? Well, they get it for breast technique. They get it for this. But the reason why I got critical is the reason why I took the camera out, for example, out for archery.
Yeah.
Was it's so I can see myself, so I can then coach.
To manage and learn that on my first year judging.
Here's a point for you that's a philosophical quandary for models and painting. So, art has been said by at least one person to be. It can only be truly art if it has no purpose other than being art.
Okay.
So can model painting ever be an art?
Yeah, absolutely. So I see it personally. I see it as a craft first. It's more akin to basket weaving and illustration.
I like that two combinations there: basket weaving and illustration.
Well, yeah, but they're very much crafts to do very particular jobs that have a practical nature. You know, basket weaving's incredibly ancient skill. You know, it is a craft, and it can be an artistic craft as well. You know, basket weaving is not just, it's not about expressing yourself. Yeah. You know, and it's got very hard and fast methods that are tried and tested over a really long amount of time. So I think basket weaving is a great analogy. You know, and this is very much a craft, and you can use it as an art if you want. If you want to create art out of basket weaving, you can do. You know, but these things they can be used to express yourself. You know, you might say I'm expressing a certain part of my personality, in which case then it becomes art. Or you can use these things to express a political view, you know, or an emotional view, or whatever. You know, or in some cases, a competitive nature.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, they are art because they are expressive. You know, we do it to, or at least we assume I did it because it creates certain emotions within me. So yeah, it's got to be art. You know, which then brings us on to the phrase that, you know, art is life, God is art, and all these weird little sayings. It's all kind of true, but ultimately, in order to get particular results, you need to understand certain causes and effects. So within that, it then becomes, that's the craft side of it. You know, like there's very specific ways of understanding basket weaving. There's very specific ways of putting paint on the model to get that result. To get that result, and you've got to understand them ways if you're going to be a judge. Yeah? But at the same time, if it's art, you don't have to give a shit about any of it. You could just Jackson Pollock it and just splatter whatever, wherever, and call it art. But that doesn't make it a miniature painting. I don't know if I've explained that in the right.
But then it is as well at the same time.
Well, yeah, of course it is, but not in the context of the way it's intended. You know,
who gets to say whether or not it's intended that way?
Well, yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Well,
I'll tell you what.
I suppose I do.
To be fair, if you're entering into a competition, you are basically signing up for someone else's opinion that's going to judge this.
I tell you what, you know, a lot of competition entrants don't seem to understand that. Like the people who enter competitions, I tend to see a lot more moaning about what judges should be looking for, instead of people asking, what are the judges in this competition looking for, and how best can I supply them with it?
Misunderstanding the purpose of a competition.
Yeah, because like the competition that I judge is for a gaming club, very much for gamers and hobbyists of all natures, and that club will have judges from every part, every niche within that. So you'll have people who represent the club who don't paint and don't really understand it the way I understand it. You know, but it's their competition. it's theirs. They get to judge it.
Yeah.
They're valid, and they're also hobbyists. And then, I was asked, like, one time, like, well, why don't you have just top painters being judges? Why do you have people who are non-painters as judges within this competition, given how important it is? And it's like, well, are you telling me that the average person's opinion isn't valid? It's absolutely valid, and you could look at it this way, and I learned this a long time ago with certain painting gallery forums like Cool Mini or I learned that who's the better painter? The painter that can only please painters, or the painter that can please painters and non-painters alike? Who's the better painter?
Or here's the strangest one. Here's the stranger one. It's managed to get a painter who can only please only non-painters.
Oh, I'm not sure if that. I tell you what, when it comes to gaming tournaments, that applies, because when you have the best painted army in gaming tournaments, the best technically and artistically painted army rarely wins. It's always the one with the funny heads, or the funny idea, or the quirky.
Because people hate the person that spent hours and hours and hours and days on every single models to single miniature standards. Everybody goes, I hate that model. I hate that person that's done that.
They'll choose the one where all the Space Marines' heads have been replaced with Hello Kitty.
Yes.
That'll always win.
And painted to at least a decent quality. It's like,
yeah.
I like that art.
Just decent. It doesn't have to be freaking.
Because they're not painters.
Standard.
A lot of them aren't painters. Because why do I? There's a point where you go, they've got their painting competition. I want someone who's painted their army with.
A few weeks ago, I had to be that higher level judge at a tournament. That's exactly what they wanted, and it was a struggle actually, because the lads who turned up at the tournament were still painting at gaming level, and they weren't necessarily up in their game in ways I would look for. And I actually had to. I actually judged it over 2 days, and the first day I was especially harsh, and it was honestly harsh. Not I'm going to be harsh. It was honestly like. So what they all got was they all got an assessment sheet for themselves, and they got to rate themselves from 1 to 5 on all these painting categories, and then it was my job to go around and make sure that they were right and adjust their scores. And I tell you what, the way I look at painting and the way they look at painting, wow, some people were like giving themselves top marks across the board, and I'm just thinking, do you know what, I'm not even sure if you've got minimum marks. But because the criteria is so hard to quantify. For example, if you base coat a model and I base coat a model, will we have exactly the same quality model? The answer is no. Even if you think the answer is the answer is no. I'll base coat a model much better than most people. I demonstrate that.
You base coat more models than most people.
Well, but it's I mean, some people will base coat more models. Like, let's say, for example, an army commissioned painter. Well, he won't ever up his standard. He's
and they generally won't care about the base
correct,
coat.
So it's not about the amount you paint, it's about how focused you are on achieving a certain goal. So like you look at this guy, for example, you're going to struggle to see the brush strokes in his knee pad, for example. So then as an untrained eye, will you then be able to break that painting process down if you can't see the brush strokes?
The actual model itself is a very good example that if you put that on a table, like on a battlefield,
he'll pop on the battlefield, he'll jump right out.
He probably will jump on the battlefield, but he's a good example of the fact that he's understated.
As a model, that's partly why I like him, That's why I chose to paint him.
He's got very...
It's cool, isn't it?
Not dull is the wrong word. He's got very... He fits. And it's a very... Well, I could use the phrase again. It's like... He looks like everything's part of him. And the world he fits in his world.
He was designed that way, so I've not made any modifications to that back there, so you should hope so.
But I mean, the paint scheme works with that as well. It's like...
I'll send you a picture so you can put it on the screen, by the way.
And, well, the colour works. There's variation of colour, and the fact that he has a blue cloak but a red plume.
Yeah.
They're contrasting colours.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have worked with a blue or any other colour,
It
actually.
would disappear as well, but
It just wouldn't frame his face quite right. But that's getting technical in there.
but if you looked at him and you looked at him quickly, you go, oh, one thing nice, he fits in the army and so on and so forth. It's only when you sort of look into the depth of it that actually everything's been it's a simple colour scheme, so to speak,
I mean,
but executed.
in that, I'd say yeah. I mean, I use primary colours on it. I like to use very cartoony style. That's what I like. Not that I have to, because I can do whatever style I want if I'm honest. You know.
I think Age of Sigma seems to suit that sort of.
He definitely does.
Yeah.
Like I'll literally try and take comic book art and just print it straight out of the model. You know, I get a kick out of it. I really enjoyed that.
I'd also argue that.
I'm getting a kick out of being able to sit here and talk about my own work in this way. Because who do I ever get to do this with?
Yeah.
No one is the answer. You know, so I'm quite giddy about it, if I'm honest.
Well, I think Space Marines suit that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
The over the top.
Yeah.
Armour.
Striking. I mean, it's just got to be striking. It's all just got to leap off the table at you. You know.
Him, literally.
Yeah, because he's got wings. But I mean, you can see the difference in style. I mean, if I bring both these two forward, I mean, look, he's pretty dark considering. What are you doing here now? Oh, you're zooming in. Wow. Oh, we can't go down.
I don't know. Oh, shame.
I could just send you some pictures of these.
I know, but I just sit there and I was like, maybe. I tried. However, if you had to stand here, we could do it.
Well, we'll see what we can do. You know, we've already got one camera upgrade. We'll see if we can get other camera upgrade. That battery, is that battery light flashing there?
Yeah, it's been flashing all the time. It's meters charging.
Oh, brilliant. So anyway, yeah, you'll find that he actually does pop. Out of all these, he pops more than almost all of them, apart from maybe him.
But that's because his colour scheme was.
It's because of how sharp I do his lines.
Yeah.
His lines up and around here aren't as sharp as his lines. It's his lines that make him pop.
Like on his face.
Yeah, on his face. But look at his sword in particular. You know, it's how sharp and how bright I do lines, and he doesn't have that.
Yeah, all his.
It feels very dark, but all these colours are actually about the same kind of hue as his, the same tone.
But all the accessorising here
breaks it up.
breaks it up, but it's also there's too much going on comparatively.
Yeah, that's what I mean when I say breaks it up. Like camo, there's a lot going on, breaks up the area of what you're looking at. You know, but there you go, ho hum. But it's just interesting being able to quantify and articulate, although I may not have done in this instance. You know, all this from Russell Brand. That's how we've got it, you know.
Yeah. I don't want to see flow diagrams of how we got things.
It'd be very interesting. Do you know what? Like I haven't watched our last video back. Generally, I'll watch them back quite a little bit, but I didn't watch our last one back.
The sound was crap.
Was it? I wonder how many people did watch it.
I can't tell off the top of my head.
Oh, but I'm excited for
Quality should be so much better now.
Yeah. Everything in every way. We hope.
Yeah.
Should we leave it there?
I think it might be a
I
wise.
think it's good. I'm knackered, me.
Yeah.
And I'll talk your socks off about models all day.
Yeah.
But when I've read that book, and when I start my new job in a couple of weeks, I'm going to start that diet properly and we'll see what the results are. Hopefully we can switch whatever switches.
Well, I'll be back to my diet system anyway now, since I'm more into back into school, so I'm back into the mode, and possibly in before Easter I might not have glasses anymore, so I'll see.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
Or really cool iPad track one.
Right, well, I tell you what, thank you for the dog.
Yeah.
Everyone else try.
We always had it.
Try, yeah, absolutely. Everyone else, have a go with the dog.
Even just do it for that one moment and just do it yourself. And then you'll actually suck it. I don't know.
Yeah. And also, if you're suffering from the things that I said I was suffering on in the beginning, like depression and insomnia, go and get your bloods done, and then go and get the right supplements, or change your diet, and then see how you get on.
Please contact us as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's on iTunes now, we're on Instagram as much, and Facebook.
Well, if you want to come on and chat with us, well, I'll give up my chair and you can sit here, I'll sit on the floor, I don't mind. You know, if you've got something you think you want to go on about for 3.5 hours, then come and go on about it. I'm up for that.
I'm still looking at our first guest being in a month's time with Rob. I think it'll be.
We could always make Dave earlier.
Yeah.
So you know, a marine and astrophysicist.
I believe he's an astrophysicist.
He is an astrophysicist.
Yeah.
And who else have we got? We've got my mate.
We can find some others.
We've got Steve. I think he's mad, you know, about Dave.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. He literally uses galaxies to look at galaxies behind galaxies.
I don't know his full details.
That's his job. He's funded at the university to do that. Wow. Oh, what kind of telescope have you got? Oh, Andromeda. Oh, I've never heard of that brand. It's not a brand that actually use Andromeda the galaxy as a telescope. What? It's mad, isn't it? It's crazy. It's the stuff you see on News Round when you're like 15 and, you know, John Potato's there going on about, that's an old kids TV joke, by the way. Yeah, it's mad to think that that's a thing, and I know a person that does that. He's not just looking at alien worlds, he's looking at alien galaxies. Wow.
I quite like Galaxy Caramel personally.
And he looks like a roadie. You know what I mean?
Once again, let people underestimate you just so you can sweep the leg.
Yeah.
It's just like,
it's mad, isn't it?
it's always worth that one moment where someone goes, "You what?"
It's you know, right? It's the same with Bob as well. He didn't know he was a Marine, and I've seen it happen actually. I've seen him nearly start a fight.
Yeah, I remember that one as well.
And it's just like, do you know what? That poor dude doesn't know what he's getting himself in for. Because Bob is so nice and unassuming. He's almost got a very childlike face. Oh my God, he's gonna kill you. He's literally just gonna stove your head in with the nearest object at hand, and he will not care.
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny as well. These times I see him, you know, people will ask him for ID, you know, or he'll people ask him what he does. He goes, yeah, I'm in the Royal Navy. And they go, yeah, right. He just goes, Royal Navy card, right in the face, and it's just like.
Strangely, some of the things he doesn't like talking about.
No, I'm surprised he's come on and he's being as open as he's being, given that he doesn't like talking about certain things. So,
because he's opened up to me about one or two things.
Yeah. I want to give him the heads up to say, you know, because I don't want him to jeopardise any part of his career or reputation in coming on here and talking. But he said, yeah, he wants to do it, and he's not as if he doesn't know what he's on about, because he's worked his way up through many ranks. You know, he's no longer just a rating. You know, he's a somebody in command of a lot of material, and he literally is. And I can't give you the particulars. I'm not educated. I'll leave it for Bob to tell you. So he's got to know what he is and isn't allowed or advised to do. And I assume he's sought advice, or else he wouldn't have said yeah in the way he said yeah. I know in the past I've had certain discussions with him. He said, I can't really talk about X, Y, and Z. And
I think that might be a better way of going about it. It's like, look, we can't talk about this stuff, and it's like,
we'll find out off him. He's clever enough, and he's a big boy. We're not forcing him to do anything, and I'm absolutely excited to hear what he's got to say, because he's done some things he's done some amazing things. He's in the words of Goggins.
Yeah.
He turned left when everybody else went right.
Yeah.
Has he ever told you that story about they had 2 weeks off one time? They were given a choice. You could either go yachting or go and visit the French. I'm not going to say more than that.
Oh, I don't think I've heard that one.
That's a story. That's a story. You know, this was recreational time. He was given an option. Everybody else turned right. He turned left, and I don't know. I'll let him tell you. So, alright, dude. Let's call it there.
Yeah.
Cheers, bro.
Ring the bell.
Yeah, well.